right now. Hello, 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 everybody, and welcome to tonight's show. I've got a new mic, so let me know how I sound out there in the chat, but I know I sound sexy as fuck. Tonight, we have a debate. We have a good debate, something other than flat Earth. We have a couple of people that everybody's fairly well accustomed to now, Rad Vlad and JL Warren. I'll introduce them in a second. But I want to know first, before we actually get this show started. Oh my God, did I start it right? Yes, I did. Okay, yeah, I'm good. For a second, I thought I fucked up already. I thought I wasn't streaming it. But hello, and welcome. Yes. We do have a good show tonight. It is going to be a debate. We are going to have some fun tonight. And let me show you who our guests are. We have Rad Vlad and JL Warren. JL Warren, introduce yourself.
Hi, I'm JL Warren.
Is that all? Yeah, what's your channel, man? Tell everybody about yourself.
I'm JL Warren. I'm what can I say? I have my own channel that's my name, JL Warren. I also am the co-creator and co-host of the Week in Horror podcast, where we dissect chronologically released horror films every single week. We have that. We're actually about to take that live on our next episode. We'll be live on YouTube, so we're really excited about that. Other than that, on my usual channel, I'm an atheist, and I will debate theists and other any religious believers, and of course, I debunk woo believers and other various shenanigans on my channel, regardless of where they come from. So that's pretty much what I go for: fighting for the separation of church and state, and fighting for rationality and reason to replace superstition and fear.
Yeah, and you know what? To be honest with you, before we get to Rad Vlad, my next video covers a crazy pastor who I've got to address him though. So that video comes out tomorrow for you guys that are out there paying attention. And our other contestant for tonight, Rad fucking Vlad, how are you doing, my brother?
Hey, all is well, guys. Good to be here. Both of y'all.
He's our resident flat earther. And he's here to talk about God.
All is well on God's flat earth. And and I have my channel too. Rad Vlad is my channel. You can go over there and see some poor quality videos, but I do have some scientific proofs and whatnot, some funny stuff too. And I'm very proud. Recently, last night, YouTube removed one of my videos, because the truth hurts. I exposed some lying LA Times news article that said the San Benito County Hospital was like overcrowded with COVID patients, and like you can't get in. That's why we have to justify the shutdown and the lockdown and all this stuff. So I was like, oh, really? I called them. I called the hospital. I was like, hey guys, I feel sick. Can I come in there? I think I ate something bad. I'm throwing up. I feel horrible, And she's like, the lady who answered the phone, she's like, oh yeah, sure, no problem. You good? Come on in. I was like, really? I heard you guys are overcrowded with COVID. And, no, it's fine. Just come in. So we are being lied to blatantly, and I exposed that, and YouTube didn't like that, and my video got removed. So I'm very proud of that, actually.
Well, Vlad, and, we'll talk about that. Maybe I'll bring you back on to have a talk about COVID between me and you, because there's a lot more into that than going into the hospital for a hurt stomach is not the same as going into the ICU for being unable to breathe and being infected with COVID. So, but we'll talk about that another time. Tonight's debate is about God, whether God exists or not. Rad Vlad, you're the one that said you wanted to debate this topic, and I was really surprised when you said you wanted to debate it, because I wasn't aware that you felt so strongly about this. I do believe you're a real flat earther, and I believe that there's a lot of religious ties to being a legit flat earther. So when you said you wanted to debate this, it really impressed me. So, but we have agreed first to let JL Warren go first. So JL Warren, are you ready, my friend?
Yes, sir. I am, sir. Let's do this.
All right. There's not going to really be any time limit unless you start taking more than about 15 minutes or so. So try to keep it within 10 minutes, but you have up to 15. Go.
Sounds good. All right. Well, thank you, Team Skeptic, for hosting this and for moderating. And thank you, Vlad, for the opportunity to debate tonight. I'm J.L. Warren, and I am an atheist. Now, because we have sidestepped defining a particular god, such as Allah, Vishnu, or the Hebrew thunder god Yahweh, and we are pulling back to the foundational concept of theism, that there is a God who made and governs all of creation, while avoiding the concept of the Trinity or divine revelations. My focus in this debate is to address the two fields from which we can argue theism and atheism and explore the intellectual honesty and assumptions needed to support each of those. Theism can be addressed by taking one of two argumentative positions, materialism or metaphysicalism. Now, with materialism, or the doctrine that nothing exists except matter and the modifications of such, has the distinct benefit of relying upon empiricism, that knowledge is derived from what we directly experience through our senses. This area was expanded upon in the 17th century with the advent of scientific experimentation, and further expounded on by individuals such as David Hume, John Locke, and many, many others. Now, since that time period, we have vastly improved our technology, which has in turn expanded and improved our ability to observe the universe with our senses by allowing us to test and predict phenomena of the universe that we normally would not be able to with just our human bodies, broadening the fields of cosmology, of astronomy, microbiology, medicine, physics, spectroscopy. The list just goes on and on and on. Now, the standard for deriving facts from these observations is the scientific method. It's a methodological tool that allows us to limit personal bias, create novel testable predictions, and come to conclusions as close to objective truth as we can by eliminating what we know to be false. Now, from this point, when addressing the existence of a God, typically a definition of that God is required. But here, we're not defining a specific deity. We're simply looking at the claim that a God exists and created everything. So, with the theistic assertion that a God created and governs everything, this claim implies agency. Agency itself implies existence. However, we run into a roadblock, as one of the hallmarks of existence is detectability. This is problematic because detectability is a hallmark of what helps us to establish a foundational difference between what is real and what is imaginary. Empirically, we can detect no testable sense evidence of the existence of such a being, and we can detect no evidence or signature of such a being, and with the collected evidence at hand, there is nothing to imply any necessity of agential contingency when observing natural phenomena. Yes, there are questions we cannot answer, such as what came before the Planck time, but there exists no evidence for a God there either, and therefore God remains an unfalsifiable hypothesis for questions we currently can't answer, also referred to as the God of the gaps fallacy. Now, it remains more intellectually honest, as it comports with demonstrable reality, to accept the question mark and work towards answering it with the evidence as we uncover it. So we move to the metaphysical, which is truly a minefield of logical and terminological twists and turns one can easily get lost in. So I'm going to try and sum this up as easily as I can. When it comes to the demonstrable reality that all humans exist within, cause and effect reign supreme. Causal relationships define virtually everything we see. It would be reasonable to accept that because we experience so much causation in our reality, that there was a cause to the beginning of the universe. What that specific cause is up for debate, but the theist will call that cause a God. But just because it's reasonable to assume does not make it justified or even rational. Just as flipping a coin 1,000 times and getting heads 1,000 times says nothing to the truth of what the 1,001st flip will result in, we cannot rationally apply what we see as typical to a situation we were not present for and have scant little information about. Ultimately, God exists, therefore, is a presupposition about the beginning of our universe. Ultimately, it's what's called an axiom. And regardless of what logical lines you may work from, either a priori or a or not a, all of these boil down to a very simple fact. No one was there to observe the beginning of the universe, and there is no evidence we can detect or test from before the Planck time. Any conclusions assumed from this are purely presuppositions and, like all axioms, as such, are necessarily unjustified. I admit as well that my own axiom, I think therefore I am, is equally necessarily unjustified. This is one of the great limitations of being humans in our current state. There are axioms we must accept in order to build the foundations of our worldviews. But because we can never reach Cartesian certainty on anything, we truly never know anything for absolute certain, no matter the level of our personal confidence. In closing, because axiomatic reasoning cannot be proven nor disproven, the metaphysical debate comes to a stalemate where we must depart in a live and let live or agree to disagree state. But when it comes to observing and detecting our universe, when it comes to the principles, laws, and theories that define our reality, nothing suggests or even implies that a God being was necessary for any of it. The suggestion or assertion that it did requires many more assumptions due to the lack of its detectability, and it is always better to make as few assumptions as possible when deriving objective truth. Yes, Vlad can hold his theistic position, but the position is intellectually dishonest because it ignores the fact that no God, as currently defined, has ever been detected. It is an irrational position because there is no rational conclusion that implies a God over begging more questions. It is a conclusion based upon personal truths and personal desires. And while that is okay for a personal position, it would be completely disingenuous to attempt to sway others by stating that position is objective truth when nothing supports that it is anything other than your personal feelings. Thank you.
All right. Taking shots already. Vlad, are you ready, my friend?
I mean, it sounds like he's done this before.
He might have done it one or two times in his life.
Well,
just a few times.
I'll tell you, okay, I haven't debated this before besides just going at it with random people, friends, or people I bump into. So it's kind of not as on the scale he's done, but in my own mind, I have a conversation back and forth. So I wrote down some thoughts of mine, and so I don't have a polished presentation like JL does. But I'm going to try to pull it together. It's a little bit fragmented where I'm going to present, but I'll bring it together for you guys, and I'm going to make some clear points. But it's not like polished, you know what I'm saying? So here I go. And I'm going to be looking at my cell phone because I like to write notes on my phone because it just catches my voice. I don't have to sit there and use a pencil or type.
And hey, Vlad, you sent me some evidence. So if you need me to pull any of that evidence you sent to me, just let me know. And I have it already, most of it set off to the side. And I can pull it up for everybody else to see as well. So just let me know if you need me to share any of that, okay?
Wonderful. Yeah, thank you. That's great.
All right. The time is yours. You got up to 15 minutes. Go ahead.
Okay. So, again, just keep in mind, this is scattered. So sometimes I might be starting from the middle and working to the back and then going to the front again. So I'm going to start from where my notes say. Okay. All atheists have one thing in common. They believe in God, but for some reason they hate him. And I shouldn't say all atheists, but I'll say most. Not all, but most atheists have one thing in common. They do believe in God, but for some reason they hate him. Now, here's another one. People have seen angels. People have seen demons. And I even know a person who's seen God's foot. But nobody has ever seen the flying spaghetti monster. Creation proves the creator. To say it doesn't would be it'd be as if a person walked into an art gallery. Two people walk into an art gallery, and one of them says, yeah, an artist made these. Obviously, we don't see them right now. We see the statues, the sculptures, the paintings. There's an artist that made these, but he's not here right now. But we see by the work, there was an artist. When the other person will say, no, just over time, the wind and the rain and the dust kind of blew all these forms into these structures. And over millions of years, here they are. Who's right? Okay, what we believe is possible, that there's a God that we don't perceive, that we can't observe, but he is the thinking engineer who brought forth the creation, the life-giving spirit, life-creating spirit. What we believe is possible, that there is a being who we can't perceive, but he is the one who created the creation. What the atheists believe is impossible, that somehow by accident we have the world we see around us. That's impossible. It's just not possible. It's not what we observe. Now, here's another one. The word evolution is a word you people made up to try to explain how creation was created without a creator. This word fails, though, because it does not provide a capable enough alternative for the necessary thinking engineer. If someone asks you, how did life come to be? Instead of saying it evolved, you could just say, it just blah blah over time, and your argument would be no better or worse. That word evolution is a made up magic word that just kind of hypnotizes the listener, and they believe it explains our realm and all the life we see around us. But really, it doesn't. Somebody's phone's ringing over here. Try to ignore that. So instead of saying evolution, you could just say it blah blah'd over zillions of years. And here we have it. The atheist who believes God does not exist merely because he cannot observe him is the epitome of the Dunning-Kruger effect. I'll say that again. The atheist who believes God does not exist merely because he cannot observe him is the epitome of the Dunning-Kruger effect. We reveal, the ones who believe in God, we reveal the thinking engineer. It's God. Simple. But your side is at a loss. Your side has a deficit. You have a story that defies all logic and common sense. You have a story which only exists within the pages of a book, with little drawings too, to go along with it. The monkey turning into the man. You guys have nice little drawings and a nice book that sounds smart and scientific, but it doesn't exist in the real world. We don't observe it. No one observes your story working in real life. But our whole lives, we've all observed minds making machines. The human body is a machine. God is its maker. Simple. No one has ever observed a machine coming into existence as a result of some harsh environment imposing itself upon it. The story of evolution is a ridiculous lie. Its only purpose is to separate man from God. It's a lie believed by fools who are unable to think. It's a hiding place for cowards afraid to face the reality of God, and it's the weapon for the enemies of God and man. We have, okay, so, I'm gonna skip, I'll come back to this one. Here's another one. A man born blind raised his head up to the sky one day and shouted, I don't believe in the sun. Is he right? The sun, S-U-N. Should we believe that guy? The fact that science fails to reveal God does not disprove God. It only exposes the deficiency of science itself. I'll repeat that again. The fact that science fails to reveal God does not disprove God. It only exposes its own deficiency. You can't just say, let me make sure this one's right. Oh yeah, you guys, your side, you can't just say it's evolution, it evolved. That doesn't work anymore. It's not good enough. Your side fails to present the thinking engineer who's necessary. And then I'm going to show an example of that. Team, if you will, please show the picture of the gears.
Yes, 1 second. Let me get that loaded in here. All right. 1 second. I just grabbed it. I forgot that I didn't have that one picture that you sent me. You said you wanted the picture, not the video, right? Originally, you sent me a video. Yeah, I got the picture right here. Yeah, let me get that picture for you. Here you go.
The picture tells 1,000 words.
All right, go ahead.
Okay, so I'm gonna maybe, I don't know how to present it. I'll probably present this, maybe ask a quick question and come back to it. Well, maybe I'll ask you guys, both of you guys, is that, what are we looking at here? You guys know what that is?
Yeah, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna let you present, and I have JL on mute right now. So when we get done with the presentation and y'all go back and forth, you can ask him about that.
Okay, I'm a rookie at this, so I'm still learning that. Okay, these, what you guys are looking at, are gears. Okay, these are gears. The only problem is they weren't made by human hands. They were made by the hands of God, because these gears exist in the legs of a leaf hopper. And you can fact check me on that one, boys and girls. I mean, that picture right there crushes it pretty much. Because, I mean, did it evolve? Put the picture back, please, team.
Yeah, my bad. I thought you were done with it. Go ahead.
Yeah. How did that evolve? How was that made? That's what I like to know. That's what I want to ask later. How was the gear built? Was it built one peg at a time, or were all the pegs built on both wheels at once? How did that come to be? Anyway, okay, so then I'll say about that. I wrote down a note about that. Okay, here's what I wrote about that. We have a problem. The leaf hopper needs to hop further in order to survive. So we see it has gears built into its legs to enable it great jumping ability. How did this happen? It's not enough to simply say the gears evolved. That's not good enough. That won't work for you people anymore. You have to explain how the gears were built. You have to reveal the builder, the thinking engineer. Okay, so there's another picture, please, team. Go please to the eye, the camera eye.
Okay, I gotta pull that one down too. That was just the picture you sent me on email, right?
Yeah, it's just an image of comparing a camera to an eye.
Okay, let me okay, here, let me just share this. It was on a website, but which picture did you want? Just that one picture?
Well, if you scroll down, it'll get to the picture. Yeah, I don't need the rest of the website.
I see it. Here, I'll bring it up for you in 1 second. Here we go. Hold on 1 second, gotta pull this up for you. All right, there you go.
Okay, so I said earlier that the human body is a machine, and machines don't come about by random chance and selection and all the terms you guys like to use. They don't evolve. It's a system. It's a mechanism with parts working together in unison in order to perform a certain function. Okay, it's not enough to say this evolved, and I just want to make the point by showing a machine that we all will agree, the camera, and compared to the eye, which I'm saying is a machine. It doesn't matter what material it's made out of. It's made out of organic materials, the eye. The camera's made out of plastic, glass, and metal. But they both have the retina in the eye is the film in the camera. The light transfers to that film. You get an image. The light transfers to the retina, and it shoots down the optic nerve into the brain, and the brain interprets that light and shows you what you're looking at. There's an iris, which is like, and I haven't really studied all the parts of the camera. I don't know if the iris is like the diaphragm or the aperture, but it controls how much light comes in. There's a pupil, which is something similar on the camera, the aperture, the diaphragm. Again, I kind of mixing those up, but I don't mix up, obviously, the lens. There's a lens in the human eye, and there's a lens in the camera. But the lens in the human eye is much more complex because it's soft, and to focus in on something close, it can contract and then it can expand. It's so incredible how God made that. The reason you can focus in near and far is because that tissue the lens is made of can stretch or compress in order to make it like either like a magnifying glass or like a long distance lens. And then there's the coronoid. I don't know what that is. But again, now this is just one little part of the total creation. There's a billion examples of machines and systems: the nervous system, the digestive system, the reproductive system with the male and female counterparts, the skeletal system, the eye, the ear, the audio. You know, we're not talking about a blob. Like if there's a godless universe, we would observe. Now let's say we could transport ourselves there, because I mean, obviously we would prove there's a God. But if there was this big bang expansion type of godless universe of random children, you would have like a lava lamp. Maybe you had some material, and it would just bubble for all eternity, and it would look like one of them lava lamps. You can't get those anymore. Pretty cool. But that's the best you guys could bring forth in your universe, a lava lamp blob universe. Maybe the blobfish you could find there, but I doubt that too. But you guys you have a blob. You don't have anything like an eye resulting from that, because you don't have a builder, a thinking engineer. Okay, I think I have one more to share, and then I'm done. I know I'm putting you guys to sleep, but bear with me. I'm almost done. Okay, this one is pretty hot because it's gonna kind of. I do believe in a specific God, the Lord Jesus Christ, God who became man and appeared to us as Christ. And I'm gonna prove Christ right now, or give some evidence. Sure, where's that? Okay. Team, please bring forth this Talmud scripture.
Okay, yeah. That's the website, right?
Yeah.
Okay, 1 second. Let me pull that up for you. Okay, now I assume you're going to be reading from this as well, correct?
Just one quick line, just to.
Okay, give me 1 second to get it up for you. All right, go ahead.
Okay. So, can you kind of scroll up a little? Okay, right there, right. Let me just see what's the part. Okay, see where it says on the eve of the Passover, Jesus was hanged. So
yes,
just give me that. Okay. So now what I'm here is from the Jewish Talmud. They have their own kind of New Testament that they've been writing. They don't just have the Old Testament Bible, Torah, but they have their own writings from rabbis that have started thousands of years ago and come to the present day. It went away, team.
Oh yeah. I'm sorry. I was bringing it in on the regular thing. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
So and now a lot of people I noticed lately like to say, "Oh, Jesus never even existed. It's just a myth. There's no other sources that talk about him. Only the Bible, and it was written long after he died, and he's just a fairy tale." Well, guess what, guys? The Jews who were the ones who had him killed wrote about Christ. Okay, and this is from the horse's mouth right now. I'm going to read. Can you make it a little bigger, team? It's okay. I'll read it. Go down. No, smaller. Just go back where it was. There you go. On the eve of the Passover, Jesus was hanged. For 40 days before the execution took place, a herald went forth and cried, "He's going forth to be stoned because he practiced sorcery and enticed Israel to apostasy." Okay, so right here we have an account that is from people who don't like Christ, who probably would love that he, if he could just be put in the category of a fairy tale, but their own to wipe his reality of his existence from history and from the minds of people. But their own scripture has a record of him. It says that he was hanged, crucified on the cross, and it even says that they accused him of practicing sorcery, like a magician, because he performed miracles. He performed a lot of miracles, man, and they are telling you that too, but they're saying it's magic and sorcery. So I haven't seen the spaghetti monster doing that. I haven't seen Zeus come down and do this. I haven't seen Allah. Allah hasn't come down. He gave Muhammad a book that he read, and then Muhammad tells the story. But Muhammad didn't raise anyone from the dead. He didn't claim to be God. He just claimed to be a messenger. But here we have someone who walked the walk, talked the talk, and walked the walk. So I could keep going, but I'm going to stop it right here.
All right, so you're done, Vlad, with your presentation?
Yes.
All right. Well, while I don't agree 100% with you, Vlad, I do appreciate your bringing some evidence here. At least gives us something to actually talk about. So now,
I agree with 100% of what I just said.
Well, it's not my place to debate that tonight. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to allow J.L. Warren to speak for himself. And I've told you guys, I'm only going to interrupt should I feel like you guys are talking over each other tonight. Other than that, it's all on you guys, okay?
Can I ask JL a question to get started? 2 questions?
Yeah, sure. This is the begin. We're going to just say that this is the beginning of the discussion part, and I'm going to let you begin with it, Vlad, okay? So go ahead.
Okay. So JL, when I showed you the pictures of those gears, can you tell me how was it built?
That's evolution.
That's not good enough.
They weren't built. They weren't built. They weren't built. They developed over time, over many millions of years.
What understood how a gear works to build?
Okay, that first we got to make sure we're not making the false equivalency. So that image of that insect, the leafhopper, those aren't actually gears. They look like gears. They fit together because they have teeth like gears, but those aren't actually gears. Gears themselves are 2 wheels that function, separate from each other. That they work in a system. These are actually more like claspers, and they fit together, and they allow the leafhopper to build pressure and then snap so that it can jump. So they look like gears because they have teeth, but they don't actually function like gears. Now, also these gears, they function differently, but this is an organic structure that is a part of the leafhopper's DNA. And so over time, as specific, that's the definition of evolution, the repetition of specific gene alleles over time. So for the leafhopper in its ancestry, and this is how their legs developed in order to the ones that were able to leap the furthest and had the more defined version of the way these interlocking claspers work in their legs were the ones that survived and procreated. And then that presentation of their genetics is the one that continued on and presented and got better and better and better as selected by evolutionary pressures, and then so on and so forth. I do need to clarify something real quick, Vlad, because just making sure. So going into this, this was a theism versus atheism debate. So I just want to clarify some things before we breach and before we go into new territory. So one, you are saying that you're not just asserting a God, you are asserting the Christian God, correct?
Yeah.
Okay,
yes,
so you're asserting
both.
the Christian God. Okay, so we're talking about the existence of the Christian God. So I think we should stay away from evolution, because evolution is not how things arrived or how things showed up. Evolution is how life diversified on this planet. It's a demonstrable fact. We've demonstrated in the lab. We've witnessed it in nature. We know that it happens. We have caused it to happen through artificial selection. We have watched it happen through evolutionary pressures and natural selection. So evolution is a demonstrable fact. It's simply how life diversified. It's not how it showed up. Okay, how it showed up is either biogenesis, abiogenesis, there's a number of ways that we hypothesize that life first, that I would say single cellular life first arrived on this planet, or how it showed up on this planet. The current prevailing theory is that natural elements formed together in the correct environment, which was the pressures of the sea with the temperatures at the time. These elements came together and bonded as they naturally do. And then that is where DNA comes from. That's where RNA comes from. And then so forth, the amino acids come forth. And then we have single cellular life. So I say we stay away from evolution, because attacking evolution to prove a God, that's a straw man. So we're just going to avoid that. We're just going to look at God itself. Now, you're asserting the Christian God, and I'm assuming you're asserting the omni God, correct?
Yeah,
omniscient, omnipresent, omnipotent, and omnibenevolent, correct?
Yeah. Well, I don't know.
Okay, okay, so omniscient, all-knowing, omnipresent, all places at once, beginning and ending, Alpha, Omega, omnipotent, capable of all things, omnibenevolent, all good. Okay, so there's some problems there. There's some logical problems with the omni God. Case in point, that's how. Okay, so this is how we get to it. When you asserted that atheists don't, like, we believe in God but we hate God, that's a bold assertion. I don't know about other atheists. I can only speak to myself. I can speak to myself that as an atheist, I do not accept the claim that atheism, or I do not accept the claim that theists have met their burden of proof. So when I was born, I was secular, and then I was informed that there was a God by my parents and peers and leaders. And they're the ones that brought it into my life, because I was actually raised a confirmed Methodist. So what led me away was critical thinking and looking at the world and the processes of which we can understand and explain. So the omni God doesn't make any sense. The omniscient God violates the Heisenberg uncertainty principle, and therefore violates the second law of thermodynamics. These things cannot violate it. If this God does violate these things, it means this God does not exist within our natural world, and therefore does not meet the criteria of existence. So it is outside that. So given that state, and then if you break down, if omniscience fails, then omnibenevolence fails, because you can't be omnibenevolent if you are not omniscient. Then there's the Epicurean problem of omnipotence. Can God create a boulder that he can't lift? If there's only one God, then technically that's not omnipotent. Otherwise, it's a paradox. And then, of course,
okay, go ahead. I'm sorry.
Oh, and then of course, omnipresent, which denotes that God cannot want or desire anything, because want and desire are human conditions, not a condition of a being that is omnipresent, a being that is in all places, all times, and all things, and all variations of all places, all times. Given the way we understand quantum mechanics, that means that all versions of reality that are possible, that God exists there as well, which means that he already has a version where all things on the planet loves him. He wouldn't necessarily follows that he doesn't need anything here. So these things fall apart. So the omni God falls apart. This is the reason why why many religions adopted the maximal God, that God is as powerful as he needs to be. So that allows them to kind of wiggle the God through the whole omni problem, because the omni God just doesn't comport with demonstrable reality. So that pretty much just leads to the question. You made a lot of assertions about this God doing things. How do you, it's a two-part question. One, what evidence do you have that there was agential causation involved in how we describe this reality that we're in, other than your personal incredulity? What demonstrable evidence do you have that we can test and we can take a look at? And two, what is your methodology for determining the difference between what is real and what is imaginary?
Okay, what's your first question?
So the first question is, do you have demonstrable evidence that we can test for the agential causation of a God? That God is the source. That God has agency, and through that agency, he decided to create the universe. Because agency implies existence, and existence means it's detectable. So what is what do you detect to say that there's a God there? What method do you use to detect this God?
Well, I'm looking at evidence right now. You are evidence of the thinking engineer. You
so you're asserting creation is what you're asserting.
I can demonstrate a mechanic or an engineer creating those gears, or you called it something else that's not quite a gear. It doesn't matter. It's a mechanism. It's two different parts working together for a function. The leafhopper can really jump, man. So I can demonstrate.
So can frogs.
Well,
I mean,
let me finish. I can demonstrate how that can be made. How can come to be? I'll pay an engineer to make it for me. Let me see you demonstrate it your way.
What do you mean to demonstrate it my way? Because we've seen it demonstrated in nature.
That's God's work.
Okay. You assert no. You assert that it's God's work. By what mechanism? By what mechanism do you detect this God? How are you detecting it? If you imply that it exists, if it has agency, it exists, and if it exists, it can be detected. But that is the definition of existence. Is it can be detected in reality. So how are you detecting this God?
So if unless you can see God peek over his shoulder in his workshop and see what he's doing, if you can't do that, it means it doesn't exist.
No, I'm saying that. No. Hang on a second. Don't misrepresent. Hang on, Vlad. Don't misrepresent me. I'm saying that there is no detectable evidence. There is no detectable evidence he exists. So therefore, it is irrational to accept the claim of his existence.
There is evidence. It's all around. If you walk into an art gallery and if you say there's no artist, it just evolved over zillions of years, the wind and the dust and the paint blowing around, and that's how we have these statues and paintings. People are gonna think that you're out of your mind,
Well,
but the other person,
because
well, you're gonna be out of your mind. You'll be out of your, right?
No, but statues don't form naturally. We know this. But just because a person can create a statue doesn't mean that the world can't form the way it is. That's just a human being making an adjustment to what is already there.
How's he doing?
So what you're assuming? He's simply So Michelangelo takes the stone and he carves the stone into an image, and then he makes the statue of David. So, but just because we see that, just because we observe agential causation here on Earth, does not imply you missed that. I'm assuming you missed that in my intro. Just because we observe agential causation here this speaks to nothing about the truth of agential causation at the beginning of the universe. Just because you flip a coin 100 times. No, this is straight logic. If I flip a coin, let me ask you this: if I flip a coin 100 times in a row, and I get heads every single time, what does that say anything to the truth of me saying the 101st time will be heads? It doesn't.
Well,
does it?
I don't believe in those kind of statistics. I mean, you're going to billion to one or zillion to one. That.
No, we can't talk about the odds because we only have a sample size of one.
A lot of time. You need a lot of time and a lot of tries. More time than there is, and you need more tries than are possible. And you need a bigger.
You mean like 14.8 billion years? Like 14.8 billion years?
Well, how many times would you need to flip a quarter to end up with you? You're like a talking statue. You're living, breathing, speaking.
No. I'm a biological organism that is. I'm a biological organism that is the genetic derivative of my mother and my father.
Oh, okay.
And they were the genetic derivatives of their parents, and so on and so forth. That's why I don't think it's wise to get into evolution, because attacking evolution is a straw man. We're talking about the existence of your God. So you say God has agency. Let's go back to it. You say God has agency. Agency implies existence because The things that have agency exist, and that existence implies detectability. So how are we detecting this God? And how are you detecting it? And why can't I detect it? What methodology are you using here? And how are you differentiating between what is real and what is imaginary?
So if you can't detect something, means it doesn't exist.
Yes, by definition.
That's amazing. So you're like all-knowing? If you can't detect it, it don't exist, huh? That's incredible. That's amazing.
That's the definition. That's the definition of how. That's how we define things that exist. We can detect them. That's a property. Detection is a property of existence.
So, well, sorry,
Vlad. You're looking at the camera, right? But there's a plant sitting behind you. Okay, does that plant exist for you, or does it only exist for me?
I don't know what you're saying there.
I'm saying that.
What do you mean?
There is a plant sitting behind you. Okay? There's a plant sitting behind you. I can see the plant, but you're looking at the camera. You can only see me. You can only see the screen. I can see the plant though. Does that plant cease to exist for you because you're not observing it? No, you've detected that plant before because you're probably the one that put it there. Okay? So yes, existence is tied. That's how we define. It's one of the ways we define existence of what is real is detectability, observability.
That's my position. You're saying if you can't detect something, it doesn't exist. That's what you're saying. I'm saying
it's one of the hallmarks of existence.
So you're all knowing.
Vlad, literally. No, Vlad, literally. That is a hallmark. That's a hallmark of how we define existence, is the fact that we can detect it, we can observe it, we can test it, we can demonstrate it, we can make predictions about it, and then draw conclusions, and then make novel testable predictions about this. This is how we define the difference between what is real and what is imaginary. Okay?
I know you guys are so smart, but I got news for you. There's a lot of things that exist that you don't know about. And if you go back 100 years, those scientists, and compare what they know to what the guys know now, you're going to see a lot of stuff they didn't know. And if you jump 100 years in the future, those scientists are going to look at you guys and say, man, they didn't know nothing back then. So
are you asserting that in the future they're going to prove God?
Could be.
Well, maybe, but we're not there yet. Maybe, but we're not there yet. So until we're there.
No, there's already
no. There's hang on a second. There's no proof. Proof is in mathematics. Proof is in mathematics. We're looking for evidence.
No, there's evidence. Those gears are evidence because I can demonstrate.
How are those gears? How are those gears? No, hang on a second, Vlad. I can't let you do that. How are these? No, the formation.
All right,
the formation of this
relax,
insect.
relax, guys.
Okay,
Jo, get your point out, and we'll let Vlad respond to it. Go ahead.
So, Vlad, the formation of this insect's legs is only evidence that is how those legs were formed. Okay? When we study genetics and we study microbiology, we study how genes present themselves over time. When we study the field of evolution, this is what we see. We see various things like this. Richard Dawkins has a magnificent video how he basically walks through the evolution of the eye from light receptive cells to the eye we have today. Okay, when you understand the science, it's actually very easy to understand. Okay, once you grasp the science, but your incredulity does not speak to the truth of your claim. My problem is that leave that aside. Stop going after evolution. Going after evolution is a straw man. Okay, I'm talking about detectable evidence for the God you assert. Where is it? Do you have it? What method do you use to detect it? Why can't any of us who are atheists detect it? Okay? Because until you can, it remains an unfalsifiable hypothesis that is supported only by your feelings.
Well, I noticed you don't like to go and talk about evolution, and that's too bad for you. And I don't blame you. If I was in your position, I wouldn't talk about it either. But I am going to talk about it because that's the foundation of what you guys stand on.
Vlad, that wasn't the debate. I'm not here to argue evolution with you. We're here to talk about God, not evolution. If you think God can be proven through science, you're outside of your mind because it would have already been done.
You just said those gears evolved. So you said
yes, they're
so
not gears. They're not gears. They're claspers, and yes, they did evolve.
Okay. Is a clasper a mechanism?
A clasper is a formation of tissue. That's what they're called.
Is a clasper a mechanism? Yes or no?
It serves a function, but mechanistically, I mean, I guess you could say that. I mean, you're using the term very loosely. It serves a function. Yes, it helps the leaf hopper jump, just like our hips are ball and socket joints. Okay, our elbows are hinge joints. I mean, these are simple tools. Simple tools are all over. The eye was a simple tool. The eye was a simple tool, but has evolved in certain species to be what it is today.
Who knew how to build it like that? Where's your builder?
That's how we evolved. Evolution. Okay. So you're asserting creator creation.
Jail. Let him get his thought out, and I'll let you respond. Go ahead, Rad.
Well, he keeps jumping from point to point.
All right, let him get his point out.
I'm trying to keep him on track here. Okay,
Go ahead,
Vlad, you've got to stay in one lane, dude. Stop hopping lanes. Okay? Just because you can jump from claim to claim to claim doesn't support your first one. Stay in one lane, man. Come on.
Listen, what I'm saying is simple. What you're saying is complicated. You're sending off a lot of smoke screens. I'm not jumping from lane to lane. What I'm saying is very simple and it's common sense. What you're telling a story that we don't observe. You're telling a story that no one's ever observed.
We do observe it.
No, you didn't.
Yes, we do. Your ignorance. Sorry, Vlad. Your ignorance of the science is not my problem. It isn't. We do observe this. This is demonstrable fact. If you crack an evolutionary any book on evolution, microbiology, genetics, the formation of DNA and natural elements, you crack any of these books, you will begin to understand this thing. The problem is that I have read this stuff. I have studied it for years. That's why attacking evolution for the theist is a straw man, because it simply shows a lack of understanding of the science. Okay, evolution is a fact. What you're referring to is abiogenesis. That's something from nothing, that life just spontaneously arrived, which I don't accept either. Okay? I believe that life was the formation of natural elements, because there are 5 basic elements that compose DNA. 5. And all 5 of them can be found on this planet. Okay? It simply took the right settings, the right pressures, the right temperature for these elements to do what they naturally do, and that is bond and create the formations that they did. Now, do we know exactly how that specifically happened and where it happened in the world? No. There are questions that we don't have answers to. They will remain question marks until we can. But we understand this. Unequivocally, we understand this. I'm sorry that you don't. Okay? But there are some leading microbiologists out there in the world, like thousands of them in the world, that understand this. And I follow their work readily. Now, we can argue abiogenesis all day long. We can argue abiogenesis all day long.
You can understand the story of Goldilocks and the 3 little bears, but it's not true. You guys tell a story
because it's a fable. It's because it's a fable. That's why it's a fable.
Books, your books are fables. Those books you study and read.
How? That is an assertion. How do you know that? How do you know that? How are you privy to this knowledge that none of us are?
We don't observe your story happening in real life. It only happens in that book.
Yes, we do. Book. Do I need to find the papers that have been published on it for you? I've done the work. Why won't you do the work?
Well, you got to show me papers, or can you demonstrate it? You're going to show me some papers and drawings?
I'm not a Okay, Vlad, I am not a microbiologist. I don't have a lab here in my freaking room. Okay, but I can read the articles. I can read the articles published by microbiologists who have demonstrated these things. Okay, that's plain and simple. And anybody do what?
You didn't demonstrate it. Well, okay. This is what.
Wait. Okay, I was saying. So let me get this straight. You want me to demonstrate evolution right here in my room? Do you realize how disingenuous? Do you realize how disingenuous that is? Come on.
I know you need a.
We're talking. I know you need. I'm sitting here talking about. I'm sitting here talking about processes that take. No, I'm talking about processes that take hundreds of million years. You want me to sit here and demonstrate it for you?
Well, it's tough. You have a hard sell. You need a zillion years.
No. There are people who have. Vlad, if you're just going to sit there and make disingenuous claims, dude, I thought you were going to bring something serious here. I thought you had evidence for this God, because you obviously do not, dude. And if you're going to sit here and laugh and say zillion years, demonstrate evolution, are you outside of your mind, sir? Okay, come on, dude. Critical thinking. You have the ability to critically think. All right. Now tell me. Give me this answer, because you have dodged it a number of times. By what mechanism are you able to detect your God?
By the creation. I told you, how many times did I tell you? The creation.
That's an observation. That is observation. That is not a method by which you detect things. How do you detect it?
So if you can't see something, it doesn't exist. You're real.
Are we really going to go around this? Are we really going to go around the circle again, dude?
That's what you're saying.
If you cannot detect something, by definition, it does not exist.
Hey, team, he wants to peek over God's shoulder in the workshop, and you want to see him doing it, and then you'll believe. If you can peek over his shoulder, then you observed it, and you believe.
Vlad, yes or no? Answer this yes or no. Do you have demonstrable evidence that you can show everyone here evidence that any God exists?
Well, that you can like I said, I told you already 3 or 4 times. So, but I'm gonna show you.
No, you haven't. You have presented no evidence. And guess what? This isn't your usual thing. I'm not going to hold you to this. I'm not going to let you squirrel around and not drop evidence. Do you understand me? The reality of it is simply this: I'm asking you for the method by which you detect God, or the evidence that you have for the existence of any God, not just the Christian God, okay, but any God whatsoever. Give me something. Even if you give me Einstein's electron God, I could accept that. I could, but that just means it's just the electron. But get this theistic sky daddy that you have. You tell me how you detect him other than your faith.
Well, man, this guy talks a lot. I'll tell you how. Your problem is you're the blind man who looks up at the sky and you don't believe in the sun, but you're wrong, because there is a sun. You see, you're blind.
Yeah.
And
I can detect it because I can detect it because I can feel the sun on me, and other people can tell me there's a sun up there.
That might be the spaghetti monster blowing some flames on you. You don't know what it is.
But the person standing next to me, the person standing next to me doesn't say that. The person standing next to me says there's a sun. That's why you feel warm. It's detectable.
That's what I'm saying. I see.
So how do you detect your God?
Well, I just told you, you're having a hard time with this.
I'm not having a hard time with this, Vlad. I'm not. I'm asking you because you refuse to answer the question. How do you detect your God?
By the creation.
You detect? That's an observation, not a detection. Well, you observe creation. You assert that it is creation. You're not even jumping around. You're literally diving around the whole thing, that if you assert creation, you have to demonstrate that it's created. Okay? You just can't make that assertion and be like, it's true. It doesn't work that way. Okay? Pardon me?
Was that camera created? You see that there's a camera right there.
This is a false equivalency, Vlad. This is a false equivalency. It is a false equivalency. It is a false equivalency that is the watchmaker fallacy, and I'm not playing this game with you.
Look how scared you are. Look how scared you are to ask you.
What do you mean how scared I am? Of course the camera is fucking created. Okay? Of course it is designed.
Look how mad he's
Vlad, That's because I was told. Hey, you know why I'm getting pissed? Because I was told that you actually had something substantive to bring. That's what I was told. I was told you were going to show up and you were going to be. I was told you were going to show up. You're going to be a fucking adult, and you were going to lay down some goddamn evidence, and you don't have any. You have fallacy after fallacy. You have assertions after assertions. You have claims that you cannot back up, and you have nothing but your faith to fucking stand on, and you goddamn know it. Okay, so stop laughing around because you know that you're trapped in this. You have nothing but your faith. So stop playing games with me and tell me how you demonstrate your God.
JL, I'm winning the debate. That's why you're getting mad. Because I'm winning. That's why you're getting mad.
Really?
Because you're losing.
You think so?
Yeah. Well, you cuss and you're really upset.
That's because I was told that I was going to get something different than what I'm getting right here, dude.
You're getting beat. You thought you were going to come in here and
how?
Well, because you're scared.
Prove your God. Prove your God. You know how you beat me? Demonstrate your God. That's how you'll beat me. That's how you'll beat me. Demonstrate your God. Demonstrate.
You don't want me to talk.
He exists. Are you kidding me? I'm asking you to do this.
Okay, but every time I start talking,
I'm asking you. Demonstrate it. Go for it. You have the attention of everybody in the chat.
Okay, you see that camera right there?
That's a false equivalency. That's a false equivalency. The camera was built by a man. The camera was not built by God.
JL, let him get it out, and then I'll let you respond to that. Go ahead, Vlad. Talk about the camera. That's a piece of your evidence.
Ref. JL is like Roy Jones was in that Mike Tyson fight. He kept holding and running. He didn't want to fight. Like every time I start throwing punches, JL comes and bear hugs me, man. You're fighting like Roy Jones. But I'm coming at you like Mike Tyson. Like bam, bam, bam.
Hey, how about we knock off the fucking histrionics and actually answer the fucking question?
Yeah. Hey, Vlad, go ahead and present the evidence you're about to present about the camera and let JL respond to it.
Okay. All right. Well, okay. So I want to ask JL, that camera right there, is it a mechanism? The camera, the one on the right. I mean, the
camera is a tool.
Is it a mechanism? I mean, a hammer is a tool.
The camera is a tool. A tool by which we capture images.
So it's not a mechanism?
There are mechanisms within it. Okay. But the whole thing is a tool.
Right. But there are mechanisms within it.
Yeah, so?
So is the eye a mechanism?
The eye has mechanisms within it.
Uh-huh.
The eye itself is an organ. Those organs have different parts with it. Those parts all perform different functions.
Right. So where's so we have an answer for that. We have a thinking engineer, and we have an example. We have a sample of some of his work right there. There's a camera which came after the eye, because the guys who made the camera, I think, kind of looked into an eye, and they kind of copied those parts, and they were able to make a camera. They kind of pulled the copy off of there and made a camera. But before they did that, they applied their mind. There's some thinking engineers who built that camera. Okay, so my side can demonstrate how it's done, how it's made. The thinking engineer. So, and there's an example. There's evidence of the thinking engineer's work on the right side, the eye, because it's a mechanism that doesn't result from a lava lamp blob godless universe of random, like you don't have a
Vlad, I cannot hear you. I cannot hear you with that yelling in the background, dude. Come on.
You don't reveal the thinking engineer. See, that's the problem you guys have. See, I have evidence.
You're asserting that there is one. You assert that there is one.
Look, you can pretend that you don't see it and that you don't agree, but in your heart, you know what I'm saying.
Excuse me? Excuse me?
Yeah, in your heart. It's simple. It's so simple a monkey can understand what I'm saying. It's very simple.
Okay. So you're telling me you know my mind better than I know my own.
I can tell by the way you're acting.
Is that what you're asserting?
No, yeah, because you're having a hard. And I can see the way you're acting. It's hard for you to answer these questions because you know that it's exposing my truth, my victory, my point is. This questioning, you're having a hard time giving a simple answer because your answers prove my argument is correct and logical, and it's a common sense. It's simple. It's basic. There's nothing complicated about it. Anyone, look, when they came up with evolution, that word and that ideology, it was created by the enemy of man and God to separate people like you from God. That's the only reason for that delusion. It's a delusion. It's a fairy tale to lie.
How do you know that? How do you know that?
Because I can see. I'm not blind. I can see it.
No. How do you? What? Okay, Vlad. Let me just throw this out to you. Do you believe, Vlad? Do you believe that alien life is coming to this planet and abducting people off of it?
No,
and
I
taking
don't
them.
believe that.
You don't believe that, right? Okay, I don't accept the claim of alien abduction either. Why is your epistemology so strong against alien abduction when there exists more evidence for alien abduction than there is for God? How do you explain that dichotomy?
Well, you say it's more. You said there's more evidence for alien abduction?
There is more evidence for alien abduction taking place on this planet than there is for the existence of a God.
Well,
like direct evidence. No, direct evidence. Like there is physical evidence, there's eyewitness testimony, there is testable chemical trace. I mean, there's a number of ways there. I mean, literally, there's hundreds of thousands of sightings of UFOs out there and hundreds of thousands of reports of people being abducted by aliens. Now, it's not great evidence, it's anecdotal evidence, and it's eyewitness testimony, which is not fantastic in and of itself, but there is none of that evidence existing for God. So why is your epistemology so strict for alien abduction in light of the evidence and so lax with God in the light of no evidence?
I'll answer that question. Okay, I'm glad you brought that up because it reminds me of something I read off my phone. People have seen, I don't know what the numbers are, but people throughout history, and it's recorded, have seen angels, have seen demons, and have seen parts of God. Now, I can tell you, I had an out-of-body experience. The reason I don't believe in God, I know there's God. I know there's God because he showed me his foot. I've seen God's foot. And I'm telling you, it's big. And it's like bright as the sun. And he showed it to me. I had an out-of-body experience. I saw angels. I saw God's foot. He's on a throne. Like there's like this tunnel that goes up and they're all around looking down. I've seen that. I saw it. That's why I don't believe in God. I know there's God. And if I do doubt my faith, sometimes I always bring that comes back to my remembrance. So it's been shown to me. So maybe that's why more will be expected of me, because I've been shown things. And I've seen this alien abduction stuff. I've seen the shadow people too come into my room. I've seen them also. And it's not just me. Now I'll tell you, I've seen them. You can laugh, but I'll tell you, it's not just me because other people have seen it's an evil. He's laughing.
I am laughing because what you're describing are natural phenomena that have been explained.
Well, look.
And debunked.
Hold on. Hey, JL, slow down. If someone is hallucinating, you got a million billion different things you can see. You might see some bullfrogs jumping on the bed. You might see like a monkey swinging on vines through your room. But there, time and time again, people see these beings come in that are full of hatred and evil. They buzz and they have these black hoods on and they come to the bed and paralyze the victim. They hit him with some kind of tractor beam and you can't. It's a reoccurring. He's laughing, but you've heard that before. I'm not making it up. I'm not the only one that's seen that.
Vlad, my background is in forensic psychology. What you are describing is sleep paralysis and night terrors.
Well, that's what you guys like to call it, but if it was,
it's defined as that. It's a psychological state of physiological impairment that is triggered by certain states of the transition between REM and natural sleep. It's not common, but it does occur, and they report the same thing globally. That's how it's defined. It's sleep paralysis and night terrors.
Not globally. It's across the earth. It's not a globe. It's across the earth.
It's global, dude. Don't even. This is not the forum for that. Don't even.
JL, but if it's that, JL, why is it always those hooded shadow beings though? If it's just
it's not always that.
What else is there?
There's a number that there are a number of formations that shadow people take. They can take the form of typical monsters. They can take the form of vampires, of werewolves. It depends upon. It usually is informed by what the person is most recently having experienced. Like if they watched a particular movie, it can take the form. The idea of Slender Man was inspired by the descriptions of night terrors and sleep paralysis. Was a figure with long arms and long Slender Man, the creepypasta online. So the idea of that was generated. It's a fake concept, but it was created it was inspired by stories of sleep paralysis and night terrors. So these things do exist. There are people who suffer from them. Okay, and we know this.
Some people have died. Some people have had those experiences, and they end up dead in their sleep. They come
suffering cardiac arrest. Suffering cardiac arrest. It does happen. It's extremely rare, but it does happen. So these are all natural phenomena that we understand and we can treat, because we can put people with sleep paralysis and night terrors on medication that helps them transition through their sleep stages, and they don't suffer from them anymore. Not to mention, there's also psychological work that can be done where they can teach themselves certain coping mechanisms in order to get through the process, realizing that they're not going to be harmed, that they are going to be safe. And then they come through it just fine, because there are millions of people who suffer from this condition that deal with it every single day. This is well documented. This is where the idea of like incubuses, the ideas of incubuses and succubuses. It's like the imp sitting on the chest, making it hard to breathe. That is a classic. There's a classic description of sleep paralysis where it's hard to breathe. They imagine something was sitting on their chest, and then they see shadow figures. It must have been a demon. This is where these ideas come from. The same with autism. The same with undiagnosed autism in the 14th and 15th centuries is what led to the rise of the idea of the changing child. That my child was replaced by an entity that doesn't act human. It doesn't act normal, because that was most likely undiagnosed autism.
They were demon possessed, probably too. What about that?
Demons don't exist. You have to demonstrate that they exist.
Well, the people see them. But here, I want to say something. It's interesting. You know a lot about that. But I'll tell you what helped me a lot. There was a time in my life when I was being attacked a lot at night, and the type of Christian you were brought up in a Methodist house, and you whatever. I now have been Orthodox Christian for like 5 or 6 years. Orthodox Christian.
Are you Calvinist or are you Calvinist or Arminianist?
Hold on, I'll tell you.
Are you Calvinist or Arminianist?
You got to tell me what those are, and then I'll answer you. Because right now, off the top of my head, I don't know.
You just answered the question. You just answered the question for me, boss.
Okay. So, but what would help me when those things would come to torment me at night, the Father John taught me to say, it's called the Jesus Prayer. And if anyone of your listeners, team, suffer from this sleep paralysis or attacks at night, if you say, you can just think it or speak it. Sometimes if you think, you say, Lord Jesus Christ, Son of God, have mercy on me, a sinner. Lord Jesus Christ, Son of God, have mercy on me, a sinner. I'll tell you, one time is enough to scatter them. They can't stand the name of Christ, and they will run from you. They will flee. They will flee.
So, okay. So here's something interesting. Here's to piggyback off of what you just stated. No, it's not scientifically proven. But what can be, what part of the therapy of dealing with night terrors and sleep paralysis and dealing with the psychological effects of that is giving the patient a mantra, something to focus on, something to repeat to themselves that helps ground them back into reality instead of a dream state. So that's in essence what you're doing. You were reciting a mantra that was reinforced by what you personally believe, so it held personal meaning for you, and that helped to ground you back into reality and bring you out of the experience. But people are given different mantras all over the world, okay, depending upon what therapist they happen to see. So it could be anything that's important to them.
That didn't work for that guy that croaked in his sleep. It didn't work for him.
It happened like decades ago. And in India,
the Jesus prayer always works every time. If you guys,
it works for you every time.
It works for everybody. No, it works for my wife.
That's a claim, but your wife holds the same beliefs you do, so that's a claim. So why doesn't it work for everybody? You have to demonstrate how that's true for everybody.
Go around and ask people who used it, and you'll find
I have talked to people. I've talked to both atheists who suffer from sleep terrors, from night terrors and sleep paralysis, and I've talked to theists who do it as well. Now, if you want to even go down this, if you want to go down this woo trail, we can even go into near-death experiences. You can explain to me why individuals who have near-death experiences in India see Vishnu, and individuals in America see Christ, and individuals in Australia see affectations of the dream.
Well,
why do people of different cultures see different things when they have near-death experiences?
I'll tell you why. Because a near-death experience isn't death. You slip close to death and then you come back. So what we understand in Orthodox is a 2,000 plus year old tradition. When their soul leaves the body, they can be deceived by demonic delusions, and they can be shown a light. Demons can appear as angels. They can appear as Vishnu. They can try to deceive that soul and try to pull them the wrong way. So that it's a very critical time when a person's soul comes out of the body, and that's why people around the world see different things, because those demons know what they believe in, so they can present a delusion to that poor soul going through such a torment.
So
I want to ask you,
do you have evidence? Do you have evidence for any of this? I'm just going to ask you point blank.
Yeah.
What evidence do you have?
Well, a lot of our saints and church fathers in the past and in the present have had these experiences, and they wrote down what they observed. It's like scientific fact, dude.
No, it's not scientific fact.
Well, that's what you think.
That doesn't even come close to what a scientifically demonstrated fact is.
Let me ask you: Do you love anybody? Is there anyone in your life that you love?
Yes, I love my wife.
Prove it.
I can. In the presence of my wife, my brain produces oxytocin and other chemicals that are exclusively produced in those amounts when I'm around her.
That's love?
The bonding chemical. Yes, the presence of the bonding chemical is detected. The way the brain bonds to other people, you can detect that. That's an actual detectable phenomena. That when I'm around her, my blood... Pardon me?
Don't let your wife hear you saying that.
My wife is the same. My wife knows this. She believes she accepts the same thing. The physiological response. That's what that is.
What is love? What is love?
Love is an emotion.
But give me an example. Like, what is like? I mean, anger is an emotion. If I get angry, I might smash something. What is love? The highest form of love. I mean, not to love, emotion. But come on, that's the best you can do, man.
Love is an emotion. What else can I describe it as? Love is an emotion.
Okay.
Love, hatred, fear, jealousy, anger, happiness, joy. These are emotions.
So what's anger? Give me an example of anger.
Anger is an emotion.
What's anger?
Emotion. I'm not sure what you're looking for here. Anger is an emotion.
Well, I told you, anger would be me smashing something.
No, that's your juvenile response to your anger. Because when I get angry, I don't smash shit. When I get angry, I focus it and I do things constructively. Like
you start cussing. You start cussing hysterical.
No, I curse. Fuck it, fuck shit, motherfucker. Cocksucker. I don't give a fuck. Words are just words. Okay, I use them to express my emotions at the time. I use them to express my emotions. Okay, and these are all emotions. So what's your point here? I'm not following. Love is an emotion. Anger is an emotion. Huh?
Well, okay. So when you're angry, you might start cussing. Okay, sure. I accept that. Okay, me too. So what? So how about when you? How I do? How about if you love? What's love? What do you do when you love? Explain what is love. Besides, don't just say it's an emotion. Like, what is love?
It is an emotion. It takes many different forms.
So what's one form?
The form that I share my life with my wife, and I make decisions that include her in it and include her input. I value her opinion. We share things. We share our life. We built a life together. We've built this home together. We've decided to intertwine our lives and say that the other person's opinion is just as valid as the other person's when making decisions regarding our lives together. We communicate, we talk, we share. We share everything. That's how our love presents itself.
Are you the head of your wife?
No, I'm not the head of my wife. My wife is my equal.
Beta male.
Really? Team. This is where this is gonna go.
Yeah, hold on, JL. I got this. Vlad. Come on, man. No attacks like that. That's extremely sexist. So I get what you're doing. You're just doing it for fun, but let's keep the sexism out of it and let's try to stay on topic. And we do have 20 minutes left in this debate. Okay, so go ahead. Go ahead,
I'll
Vlad.
say love is that you sacrifice yourself for others, to lay down your life for your friends or enemies. Have
you ever done that? Have you ever laid down your life for somebody?
You mean obviously I'm alive, but
then you haven't done it. Well, then you haven't done it. So how do you know?
No, I'm not saying you have to die. I mean, look, I'm saying.
Well, that's what you just asserted. That is what you just asserted. So how can you demonstrate it unless you die?
Calm down, JL.
Answer the fucking question, Vlad.
You say when you love somebody, you put them ahead of yourself. It doesn't mean you gotta jump in front and take a bullet. People have done that, but you put the other person ahead of yourself. If you break up something in half, you give them the bigger half. That's love. You take time to make sure they're taken care of. I mean,
Okay, that's like I said before. That love presents itself in many different ways. Love can also be toxic. Love can present itself in very negative ways, in very dangerous ways. No, it actually is. It actually is a form of love. It's a form of toxic love. It's a form of codependent love. Love takes many forms. Love can be self-destructive. No, love can be self-destructive.
Agape love, true love, like real love, agape love.
Okay, now you're trying to quantify an emotion. That's your subjective experience. That doesn't apply to every human on this planet.
Agape love is a real thing. I don't know why you have a problem with that. It's different from
love. Love is love. The strength of the bond makes no difference because everybody feels it differently at different times. It increases, it decreases depending upon the emotional states. So love is love. Love is an emotion. So I'm curious, where the fuck were you going with this? That emotions exist. What is this? Where's your train of thought, man? Stay on the tracks.
Because
too many pennies on your tracks, man. You hit those pennies, you just boom. So come on, where were you going with this?
Because you want to observe everything and demonstrate and prove. And I asked you about who do you love? You said your wife. I said prove it. You can't prove to me what's inside of you because only you know it. It's invisible to me. You can talk all you want.
You can see it through my actions. You can see it through my actions.
Say, you can't prove it. I can't see the love in you for her. I can't see it. It's not tangible.
No. Obviously, an emotion is not a physical, tangible thing you can just pluck out of my brain. But there is a chemical. There is a chemical precursor that we can detect that is common through virtually all human beings, which allows us to make a novel testable prediction that when an individual experiences the emotional effects of love, that their brain is producing a particular hormone. And we can demonstrate this. That's why we know. It's why we call oxytocin the bonding agent, the bonding chemical between humans. Is because when mothers hold their children for the first time, their brains flood with oxytocin. And that helps the two bond to each other. When an individual, when you meet an individual in your life and that person inspires, that your brain begins to produce oxytocin and bond you to that person, that is where we get the sensation of our love. Okay, that bond can also reinforce other things as well. That's why you get angrier at your spouse than you do at other people, because it's reinforced by the bonding agent that you have.
So is there the same chemical get shot through your system when you're angry as it does if you love someone? It's the same
Well, the
chemical?
the oxytocin is there. That's just a hormone that's produced that helps to create bonds between human beings. When you get angry, it's typically adrenaline and whatever your focus is at the time. There are hormones that are like adrenaline is the number one hormone produced when you are angry.
Okay, how about you gonna get a rush if you let's say you're young and you make love to a woman for the first time, that you met her, okay?
Hey, chat, get that image out of your heads.
so there's that, but then there's also a emotion you have if you haven't seen your mother for 5 years because you're in the military. You come home and you get to hug your mom and you're crying. Is there a different chemical that gets shot through your system for those two different situations, or is it the same?
Well,
one?
most likely it would be adrenaline because you're excited to see the individual. There's most likely the oxytocin that was present from the time that you were born that bonded you to your mother and the image of your mother's face. And then all of a sudden you see that person for the first time in 5 years, your adrenaline goes up, you get excited, your brain floods with oxytocin at seeing the individual, and then you feel the bonding agent and you express it in however you express it. Okay, but where are you going with this? Are we here? Are we here to spend the last 20 minutes dissecting fucking emotions? Or are you going somewhere with this?
So
are our emotions your proof of? Are our emotions your proof of God?
No, I'm gonna prove that things exist that you can't prove that are real. So we
can demonstrate emotions can be demonstrated
by adrenaline and oxytocin, right?
Emotions can be demonstrated by the chemicals in the brain and the actions of the individual. That is how we demonstrate emotions.
Oxytocin.
I'm not going to sit here and dissect every fucking hormone the brain produces, Vlad. Okay?
Why you don't get mad when you're losing?
Because you're running out Vlad. Because you're running out the fucking clock in this ridiculously
because he can't prove.
Moderator. Sorry, let me jump in. I had to do that. Listen, we have 15 minutes. Vlad. I'm gonna kick it over to you. Okay, we have 15 minutes. I just want to get you guys on point. Here we go.
I just proved there's things that exist that are 100% real that he can't prove.
Yes,
he can't prove it.
What the fuck did you jump to that? How the fuck did you jump to that from? I just said, motherfucker, that emotions can be demonstrated. They are demonstrated by the chemicals that are aligned in the brains that when the brain produces those hormones and the actions of the individual. Emotions can be demonstrated, you dumbass. Now, come on. Get your fucking shit together. Get your fucking life in order and give me some goddamn evidence.
What's up, Vlad? Hold on, J.O. What's up, Vlad?
Hey, team, homie. This dude's getting hysterical. Can you mute him for a second so I can say what I want to say?
Well, okay, hold on. I'm not going to mute him. But J.O., will you give him a chance to try to get a full thought out? And Rad Vlad, I'm sure J.O. will be more than happy to hear what you have to say and respond to it. Go ahead, Vlad.
Okay. So I just proved that there's things that exist that he can't prove and demonstrate to me because he's saying, love is just a chemical that shoots through your body. So I asked him, which chemical? I'm trying to zero in on him. There's adrenaline and oxytocin. Okay, he burned it with me. But there's a difference between loving your wife, like he said, or loving a sandwich, or loving your dog, or maybe the way you might feel if you haven't, like I said, haven't seen your mother for a long time. There's a difference. Okay, he can't prove that to me because you don't love everything the same way, okay? Because that same emotion can pump through your body if you're killing somebody. Adrenaline and oxytocin. If you kill, they're not the same.
I know, Vlad. I know.
There's things that exist that are very real that he can't demonstrate. Okay, he wants to prove everything, but I proved he can't demonstrate that. Just like I proved that what we're looking at on the left side are gears, or I keep forgetting what he calls them. It's not a gear, good enough. And that's a mechanism. The camera's a mechanism. The eye's a mechanism. We can demonstrate how the eye comes to be. He can't, by our what our common sense tells us, it was made by mind, a thinking engineer. He can't demonstrate that. Not in a million years, not in a billion years, not in a trillion years.
You're right. I can't demonstrate. I can't demonstrate an engineer. I can't demonstrate an engineer. That's why I don't believe in it.
The wind will never blow and make an eye for your head. Never. It's never going to happen. It's impossible.
Of course it wouldn't. No one has searched that, Vlad. Vlad, no one has searched that.
You don't have an engineer. You don't have a thinking engineer. You
don't need one.
Deficit.
Yeah, don't need one. No, we don't. No, we don't.
Yeah, you do.
No, evolution explains it. I'm sorry, Holmes. I have evidence. I have evidence to support my. I have evidence to support my claim. Evidence supports. Yes, I do.
You have a fable book. You have a little book with pictures. What proves it? The little pictures of the monkey turning into the man. That's your
monkeys
proof.
Didn't turn it. Monkeys didn't turn into men. Your ignorance of science. Guess what, Vlad? Your ignorance of science is Vlad. Your ignorance of science is not my fucking problem. Guess what?
You need to hire an artist to prove your point. You need to hire a creator to draw those pictures. You hiring what we demonstrate, a creator, an artist has to sit down.
Guess what? You don't demonstrate it. You don't demonstrate it. If you did, if you were able to demonstrate a God, guess what? Everyone would believe it.
Well, that's your problem. You got your head buried in the sand because you don't want to believe it.
You're the one making the. But Vlad, you're the one making a claim. Vlad, you're the one making the claim.
Buddy, it's all around you, man.
No, Vlad, hang on a sec. You just touched on the whole thing. Vlad, you just touched on the whole thing. Vlad, you just touched on the whole fucking thing. You're the one making Vlad, you're the one making the claim. I don't make a claim as to the existence or non-existence of a God. I deny your claim. Okay. Now, are you asserting that you know my mind better than me?
Well,
are you asserting you know my mind better than I do?
I know your eyes, they're blind. You can't see the truth, and you don't want to see it.
Vlad, stop speaking in fucking histrionics. Stop speaking in fucking histrionics and act like a goddamn adult. You have fucking kids back there, okay? Act like a fucking adult. I think you are. Okay?
I got kids, so you better watch your mouth the way you're cussing like that around my kids.
Fuck off, motherfucker. Okay.
Hey guys, listen. Let's not turn this into a personal. Hold on. Hey, hold on. Vlad, hold on. I'm gonna stop it there, and I'm gonna let y'all regroup and go back, and let's leave out talking about family or taking anything too personal, okay? But I do appreciate both of you guys. We have 10 minutes left, so make your arguments and make them strong, make them count. Vlad, I'm going to turn it over to you, and JL, you can respond to anything he says.
Let him go first. I got to get a drink of water, man.
Okay, go ahead, JL. I'll turn it over to you and let you go first. 10 minutes.
Okay. Well, as we can see, when Vlad made his little intro statement, I see he's walking away, so we'll just kind of break this down a little bit. Holy fucking shit, there is a lot of stuff here, and I took a lot of notes. When you debate, you do take notes, so pretty much, we've got his personal position is basically his claim about most atheists that we actually accept God and we just hate God. I don't understand that. That's a positive claim he has no evidence for. That angels and demons exist, another positive claim, but it's irrelevant to this discussion. He asserted the creator-creation distinction, of which you must demonstrate that we are actually a created thing, that we are designed in that nature instead of like the end result of natural processes. He has no evidence for that. Obviously, I saw people in the chat, they noted he hit on the watchmaker fallacy like 5,000 fucking times. Argument from complexity, argument from incredulity. He doesn't understand fucking science. That's just the reality. I'm sorry, I'm not going to do the work for him. He can go out and do the work. I did the work when I was leaving religion because I wanted to understand why my faith didn't make sense to me anymore. So that's simply the process.
You're the wrong religion. You're the wrong religion.
So attacking evolution, that's a straw man. What he's actually trying to refer to is abiogenesis, something came from nothing. The problem with Vlad is that
Give him a chance to respond to your next comment, though. Okay, go ahead.
Okay, the problem with Vlad's argumentation here is that basically Vlad is basing everything off of the Bible. The Bible proves God, and God therefore the Bible, which is circular reasoning. He's using the Bible to prove God because that's the only evidence he has because he operates on faith. The reason atheists don't operate on faith.
Let Vlad answer. Let Vlad answer.
I was like, the reason I'm gonna wrap this up really. The reason atheists don't rely upon faith is because faith is not a reliable pathway to truth because it's subjective to the individual, and we like to operate in the bounds of objective truth.
Go ahead,
we like
Vlad.
to operate of a fantasy that we don't observe in real life. You don't have a thinking engineer, which is what's necessary to create the creation all around you. It's so simple. It's so obvious. It's common sense given you by God. Even a monkey can understand. Any little kid can get it. You see a camera, you see the eye, you see the gears, you see a clock, you see a statue of a person, you see a real human being, and then you say, "Oh, but the all life just kind of happened by accident for no reason. A rock popped out of nowhere and became alive for no reason, and then a zillion years later, it turned into like you and me." Like just because that's what you believe.
Go ahead, Jail.
What we believe is simple. We believe we see the evidence of the Creator all around us in the creation. We see it's obvious. You got to be a moron not to get it, or dishonest. All around. So common sense.
So you have no evidence. That's what you're basically stating. I'm going to steel man your argument. You have no evidence. Steel man.
Listen to the video. Listen to the video when we finish. Calm down and listen to it again, and you'll see. Maybe you might get what I'm saying.
Well, I'm calm, dude. I'm calm now because I understand you a lot better than I understood you beforehand. So
you're a little bit excited right now, but you calm down a little bit.
No, not at the moment, because now I fully understand you. See, I was presented. When I walked into this, the only knowledge I had of you was from your previous debates, was from your flat Earth assertions. Okay, here that's not my field. Okay, my field is not natural sciences. That's for like Team and other individuals who make it that they make that their field. My field is literally psychology and theism. This is what I study. I find it very, very interesting that you believe in Christ as the Messiah, yet you quoted from the Talmud. Okay, and not only that, but you said that the Talmud.
Why did I quote from the Talmud? Why?
Well, the Talmud is a Jewish text that doesn't support Christ as the Messiah.
But no, I did it because a lot of people, the new fashion is that people say, "Oh, Christ never even existed. He's just a fairy tale they made up."
There's no demonstrable evidence that he did exist.
Well, the Jews who were there at the time he lived wrote about him. In the book.
Yeah, okay. So you quoted from the Talmud. You quoted from the Talmud. The Talmud. Hang on a sec. You quoted from the Talmud. The Talmud is actually divided into two sections: the Mishnah and the Gemara. Okay, the Mishnah was written circa about 200 A.D. Okay, the Gemara was written about 500 A.D. That's 500 years after Christ supposedly existed. Okay, and the earlier text, the Mishnah, was written 200 years after he existed. So they're talking about a figure that they had no evidence of, just the oral tradition that was passed down over time.
No, they've been writing Talmud. They were in Babylon. Since they came out of Babylon, they brought the Talmud from out of Babylon. The Pharisees, before they went into Israel, they were captives in Babylon. The Israelites were captives in Babylon, and they brought that religion and Babylonian religion in the Talmud from Babylon before the time of Christ. So sorry, you're wrong.
It wasn't from before the time of Christ. I'm sorry, dude.
Yeah, it was. Sorry to tell you. It started in Babylon. The Talmud, those scriptures the Pharisees brought from Babylon.
I'm telling you right now, there is no mention of a Christ figure in anything that predates the Egyptian civilization. There is no mention of a Christ figure in any of those texts. Christ does not show up until the Talmud. He is and then from then on, from the Bible, from what we get in the Bible, that's where that goes on. But it comes in about 200 years after he lived.
But are you saying he's a fairy tale? You believe?
No, I'm
saying
no. I actually I can accept that there was an itinerant rabbi that lived in Bronze Age Palestine that pretty much rebelled against the Orthodox religion at the time. Yeah, I could accept that. That's a very simple claim. The Bible, the Christ figure as he's depicted in the Bible, I do not accept that because it cannot be demonstrated. It cannot be verified. The things that he does violate the natural order of the world, and we cannot replicate those. I believe that he is an amalgamation of many characters that were attributed through various myths in order to create this figure.
Why did the Jews call him a magician and a sorcerer there? If you're just a regular guy, and you can't.
I don't know. I didn't live 2,000 years ago.
I know why. Because he performed miracles, and when they saw those miracles,
demonstrate how you know that. Demonstrate how you know it. Demonstrate how you know it. Demonstrate how you know it. Demonstrate how you know. Demonstrate how you know that, Vlad.
The Jews wrote it down when it happened. They observed him.
No, they didn't write it down when it happened. No, they didn't. That was oral. There was oral tradition then. The first known text written about Christ was actually the first known story that was told about it because it was outlawed to speak of him for a good long while. The first known collected story that was told about him was about 50 years after his death. It didn't get written down until over 100 years after his death, and even then they weren't even compiling the Bible. So.
Well, listen. I'm an Orthodox Christian.
Do you have Vlad? Do you have faith that anything of what you're saying is true? Do you have faith?
Well, I know you don't. You don't believe what you say.
Answer the question, Vlad. Do you have faith?
I know there's God.
Do you have faith? Do you have faith? Hebrews 11:1. Do you have faith? 1 Peter 3:15. When you ask a question, you have to have an answer. Believe me, chap, I have studied the Bible more than you have.
We had a church for 350 years before that.
And he still doesn't answer he still won't answer the question. So, okay.
Okay, look, hey guys, listen. We've reached our time limit. Hold on.
No, we're good.
Vlad, hold on. Vlad, hold on. Moderator. All right, Vlad, listen, I'm going to let y'all rapid fire for 3 to 5 minutes until you're done. Vlad, you go first.
Okay. Well, we're jumping all over the place. I kind of rapid fired already, team. I mean, I'll just say it again. Let me.
Do you have nothing else? Do you have nothing else?
I got some.
Go ahead.
I think I do. Let me see. Let me see here. Well, again, I'll just say again.
JL, do you have anything? Oh, I'll let y'all both go. It's rapid fire right now.
Sure. Yeah, I got some right here. So we got continuing on dissecting his intro, or what he called an intro. A lot of false equivalencies in there. The blind man can actually still feel the sun, even though he can't see it. So that's a false equivalency. Getting into I recommended Richard Dawkins' explanation of the evolution of the eye and how that evolved over time. It's one of the best explanations that's out there. He asserts Vlad asserts agential causation, but he ignores the two problems that come from that either God is into the infinite regress of creators creating creators, or brute agential causation, which therefore makes God a brute fact, and there are problems inherent in those. Then of course
possible. What we believe is possible. What you believe is impossible. It's impossible.
No, we've demonstrated it, dude. We've demonstrated it. Yes, we have. We as humanity have demonstrated. I'm sorry you're not on the same page. I'm sorry you're absent from class that day. That's not my problem. It's not my problem, dude. Your ignorance of science is not my problem. I'm sorry that I did the work. I'm sorry that I did the work and you refused to do the work. That's on you, sir. That's not on me. Because I did work on both sides. I did work in the church and I did work in school. And I'm sorry that you didn't go to school. Okay? I'm sorry that you don't want to understand the world that you live on.
learn live
Okay.
in school.
I understand your failings. I actually understand your failings in understanding the universe because you failed to go to school and learn these things because you're stuck in books that were written 2,000 years ago that can't be verified. I understand why you accept that there are ghosties and demonies out there when you can't demonstrate them. You have no evidence. I asked for evidence. You didn't have any. You have bald assertions which you can't back up. You have a book that you can't verify. You've got nothing, sir. Nothing except your faith. And I told you in my intro, Vlad, I told you in my intro that it is okay for you to hold your position. It is. It is okay for you to hold that position. But it is not okay. It is not okay for you to run around trying to sway people to your line of thinking when you have no evidence to back it up. You have nothing, sir. You have nothing to back it up.
Little kid can see the creation proves the creator.
No, the little kid is told there's a God by his parents. Just like you told your kids that there was a God, and your parents told you there was a God, and so on and so forth. My mother and father told me there was a God, and guess what? I grew up and realized that they were wrong.
No, you're wrong. You learned.
Prove it.
Grew up and
demonstrate how wrong I am, Vlad. You have an open invitation. You have an open invitation. I will pay you $10,000. I will pay you $10,000 to demonstrate your God right now.
I demonstrated, and you got your head.
You haven't. You have made bald assertions with no evidence to back up your claims. You have no evidence to back up your claims. You haven't. You want to ask the chat. Ask the chat. Ask the moderator. Ask anybody. You haven't proven anything.
I don't need to ask nobody. You need people to agree with you, to believe you're
No,
right.
I don't.
That's your problem.
No, I don't.
Yeah, you said ask the chat. You said ask the chats. So if everyone agrees with me, then I can feel I'm right. Man, that's beta. How weak are you? You believe you're right.
Really? That's what you've got? Insults and ad homs? Is that all you've got, Vlad? Is this the best you can conjure? Is this the best you can conjure, Saruman? Is this all you've got?
You just exposed yourself. You need people to
expose myself. How?
When are you going to grow up, little boy?
Guess what, Vlad? Guess what? No one agrees with you. Vlad.
I don't need
guess what?
To agree with me.
No one agrees with you. Hell, my pastor doesn't agree with you.
Everybody agrees with you, little boy.
All right. That was great. I have you both on mute for 1 second. That portion of the debate is over. I'm going to turn it over to you guys to have final comments. But I did mute both of you for 1 second. You're both unmuted now. I just wanted to end it at the time. We're going to end it on the time, and that's what we did. But you're both unmuted now. Thank you so much for both of y'all. Now I'm going to turn it over to closing arguments, and we'll go ahead and start with JL Warren since you opened it up, and I'll give Vlad the last word. So go ahead, JL.
This would be pretty quick. In essence, what we're looking for is detectability. That's how we determine the difference between how something exists and how something is real and something is imaginary. The concept of a God is imaginary because there is no detectability to it. This universe is an isolated system. The Earth is in itself a closed system when it comes to matter. It's an open system when it comes to energy, but there is nothing that is not explained. There are some questions we don't have answers to, but it's simply because we don't have the technology yet, or we just can't look past a certain point. So those will remain question marks until we have the evidence to assert an answer. But we will not assert God as an answer. There is no evidence to support it. There's no detectability to any type of agential causation. If we assert agential causation, then who created the creator? That leads us into infinite regress. If we ignore that, that leads us into brute agential causation, which in itself has its own problems. So all in all, that's what I was looking for. I was looking for evidence of a detectable God or some detectable force that was the initiator of all things that we see. But we can explain them as values of we explain them with the values of natural processes, with the principles, the laws, and the theories that we use to define and describe the reality that we observe, which unfortunately for Vlad does not include a God. It's an assertion of his feelings, an assertion of his desires, and nothing more.
All right. Now, Vlad, your closing arguments, sir. Go ahead. You have a few minutes to say what you got to say uninterrupted.
Okay. So JL and people like JL and JL, he's basically like this arrogant. He believes himself to be an all-knowing wizard, very arrogant person. That if he can't observe something, it doesn't exist. Period. With the avatar he's in, that's not going to last long. We're all going to die. We can't see that far. We can't hear that well. We can't smell very well. We have these senses that are very limited, like, you know. And then the gadgets we make aren't that great either. And then he wants to observe something that can't be observed, and he overlooks the evidence of that creator that's all around him, right under his nose. He gets upset when I bring it up. When I want to compare the camera to the eye, he starts cussing and swearing and having a meltdown because he knows that I'm proving my point, and the truth hurts. The truth hurts. That's why he has a meltdown, because he knows that it takes an engineer to make that camera, just like it took a thinking engineer to build that eye, and that's a fact, and he knows that deep down in his heart. And then another thing he said. He's an insecure little boy because he told me no one in the chats believes and agrees with you. Man, so what? I don't need nobody in the chats. Nobody in the world needs to agree with me. I'm a grown man. I believe what I believe. I know the truth. God gave me wisdom and common sense to see what's plain and simple. He talks about these profound concepts he reads in little comic book, science books with the little drawings of monkeys turned into men. That he relies on our process to demonstrate what he falsely believes. He needs a creator to draw those pictures. It can't happen his way. Why don't you put some paper out in the forest and let the dirt and wind blow randomly, and then check back, and then you get yourself a nice picture. Your way doesn't work. We can't observe it. It's a lie, and it's obvious, and you know it, boy.
All right, well, I think that's going to be where we end it today. As you all can see, we have a new person on here, another fuckface from Australia, who also has Irish in his name, Irish Demon. Irish Demon, I want to tell you, man, what did you think of tonight's debate, and what did you think of both performers, both debaters?
Sure.
Go ahead.
I gotta say, some people are going to be disappointed with what I've got to say here. So I've been an atheist for a long time, but I feel like, having listened to Vlad, that I have actually changed my mind now. Vlad, I've got to hand it to you. You have proven to me that there is a God, and I'll tell you why. Because only the existence of a God could explain how a human being can survive this long without a fucking brain. And that is exactly why you have proven to me that there must be a God. Can I just please, though, seriously, jokes aside, let me ask you a question. Do you know what omnipotence is?
Who are you asking?
I'm asking you. So omnipotence, do you know what that is? It's okay if you don't understand the word. I can simplify it. So can God... Okay, let me just put it this way. Can God do whatever he wants?
Look, you can't understand it.
Just answer the question. Hold on. Don't dance around it. Just answer the question. Can God do whatever he wants?
He's an all-knowing wizard like JL. Like, if he can't get
that's fine. No, without the jokes or the insults, can God do whatever he wants to do? Yes or no? Yes or no?
He can if he wants to make a rock that's too heavy for him to lift, he can do it if he wants to. If he wants
so
to,
how can he do that? If he can't lift it, then he can't do anything he wants.
What?
So if he can make a rock big enough that he can't lift,
it's a paradox.
It's a paradox. So if he can make a rock big enough that he can't lift, then he can't do everything because he can't lift it, can he?
Well, if he wants to, listen to the answer. You asked me a question. You just want to talk. You asked me a question.
Okay, go on. Tell me.
He can if he wants to, homie.
So he can make it big enough, but he can't lift it. How is that possible? How is that possible?
Vlad, I love you, man.
Oh my God.
You're funny. You make some interesting arguments. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
That's a word. Interesting is a word.
Hey guys, I love you all. God bless you. I'm gonna go. I got some very cute people right on the other side of the door. I'm tired of you guys, man.
Hey, well, Vlad, I do have something I do need to read to you because historical philosopher, if you're out there, he pointed out something about the evidence, the scripture, or not the scripture, but the website that I shared, the Jewish website, and I had it saved. But if you could repost that historical philosopher so I could read it off to Vlad. It just had something to do with the people who they were talking about that wrote about Jesus in that piece of evidence. And he looked it up, and he just had something to add, and I just wanted to bring it to you.
I want to debate historic philosopher. I want to debate him. I seen him on the show. I'm calling him out.
You've also called out Atheism to me, right? You said you want to bring Atheism on here because you said he was kind of harsh to you in the chat with super chats the last time. So
pays you $5 to say something nasty to me in the super chats.
Worth it.
Worth
I'll debate
it.
you on anything.
Worth it.
I will debate you on shit that I'll debate you on shit that I know nothing about because I know I would still win, like 100%. I would debate you on anything. Name it. Anything, and I'll
hold on, guys. Hold on. Here's what he said, Vlad. He just asked me to inform you of this. The piece that you cited refers to people that were living long before Jesus lived. The authors couldn't have possibly been referring to the Jesus of Christianity. Now, I just wanted to read that to you. I'll allow you to respond if you'd like to, and if you want to go and do more research and then let us know what you think about that comment at a later date, I'll also give you that opportunity as well. But go ahead, Vlad.
What's the historic philosopher?
Yeah, historical philosopher. Yeah.
Okay, sir. Sorry to break the bad news to you, but the Jews believe in the Jesus of the Bible. They'll tell you it's real. So you live in kind of a funky town. You're not in reality. They'll tell you he's real. He's not a fairy tale.
They don't accept him as the Messiah, right? They don't accept him as the Messiah, right?
They don't. That's where they fall short.
So is that point irrelevant?
Well, no. The point is, a lot of people like historic philosopher might be one of the people that says, "Oh, he never even existed. It's just a myth they made up." Like they copied the story of Horus and they transferred it to Jesus. These are ridiculous things that people say and believe. But the Jewish scripture tells you plainly he existed. He walked on the earth. They will tell you he's real. The Jews will tell you he's real. So get out of fantasy world, man. You know,
what if I tell you I'm the son of God? Would you just believe that?
Prove it.
You prove that Jesus was the son of God then. Prove it.
Well,
prove it.
Hey, I want to read this out. Alyssum just super chatted $5 to you, Vlad. He says he'll give you $5 for a functional flat earth based map. If you cannot provide me one, then you are a waste of time. You can't even show me what your fantasy world looks like. Now that's off topic. It's flat earth, but it was directed to you, and it was a $5. He paid $5 to insult you again. I just wanted to let you know.
Vlad, I'm really curious. I do have one question that you never did answer. How do you differentiate? What is your methodology for differentiating between what is real and what is imaginary? What is your methodology? No, what is your methodology for determining? How do you determine between what is real and what is imaginary?
Listen, this is right now is real, and God is real, and I already beat you in the debate. So let me
you're
deal
not
with
gonna,
Alyssum.
So you're not going to answer the question. Okay, just checking.
Okay.
Everything happens in your mind. It all happens in your mind. You know? I mean,
you're right. It does happen. It does happen in your mind. It really does. You are correct about that, sir.
All right, so we're going to end it there. Vlad, I know you're about to leave, so I'm going to give you the last word and shout out any channel that you want, and I'll give you the last word, brother.
Alyssum asked me a question about the functional flat earth math. Yeah, let me call NASA and have them email it to me. You know, they're going to give me the real functional flat earth map, and then I'll present it to Alyssum. Okay, just tell him, hang on, I'll get it for him. I'll get right for him. And Alyssum, I'll tell him everything. Coward, hey chicken, why are you terrified to come debate me face to face like these guys did, like JL did, and like the other gentleman did? Forget his name. How come you're so scared? Such a coward. I called him out so many times. Me and him had a half debate because I was having a problem with my sounds. I just had a car accident. Craig, Flat Earth Craig, fear the flat Earth Craig, begged me to come on the show. I just came on, have a little fun, and then I was muted the whole time. And he presented his argument, and that was like it. So he's still after me, but he doesn't have the balls to come on your show, team, and debate me man to man. He's gonna live the rest of his life.
Why does that affect you so much?
Well, hold on, Jay. Hold on, Jay. Let him get his last. I think he has to go, so we're gonna let him get his last words in, and then we're gonna. My bad. I don't want to cut you off, but go ahead, Vlad.
No, go Vlad.
He's very nasty.
And when you say he, are you talking to Alyssum or?
Yeah, listen.
Okay.
Listen.
Okay. Good.
Listen.
All right, and then.
Coward. Come debate me, man to man, if you have the balls. You understand?
Okay.
Come do it.
Well,
we're paying $5 to little like he's like getting lap dances here. He's paying $5.
Well, he's enjoying it. He enjoys it. He enjoys the show, and I'm sure that that there's other people out there that enjoy the show. And this channel is funded by the chat and the audience, so I will give him that. Thank you very much, Alyssum, for helping me get to be able to do what I love to do. Now, Vlad, I have super. I'm sorry.
He should put some real money down, a little $5.
That is real money. This is a hard time for everybody. That's plenty. That's
Vlad, I just told you. I'll pay you $10,000 if you can demonstrate God. Looks like you need the money.
No, I did, but you're not honest. You're not honest.
I am honest. I'll pay you $10,000 if you can demonstrate your God.
I don't know what else to tell you, man. I mean, we went at it, homie. You don't believe.
No, I'll pay you $10,000. I'll pay you $10,000 if you can demonstrate your God. It's not the million that James Randi was offering, but I can give you $10,000 if you can demonstrate God.
I'll match it.
It looks like you need the money.
Looks like I need the money. I got more money than you.
Your camera doesn't. Your camera setup doesn't speak to that. I'm sorry.
All right. We're taking low blows at each other now, and we're not even naked. So this is pointless because we're not naked yet. So, Vlad,
you want to take your shirt off for me, Vlad? I mean, I'm bi. Are you trying to hit on me?
You're bi?
Yeah. Are you trying to hit on me?
Not really. No.
I mean, you're showing me your muscles and everything.
Really.
I assume you're trying to turn.
You sound like you have a little bit of. You sounded like you were kind of like hesitant to say no.
Like, ooh.
Oh.
Wait. He's like, well, stand up, JL.
Maybe you do like JL.
Yeah.
Let's show him some titties.
Yeah.
Hey, Gail, I'll arm wrestle you for that $10,000.
No.
Would it be a sexy arm wrestle?
I will beat your ass.
Let's arm wrestle. How much money you bet? How much money?
For an arm wrestling? No, because I'll beat your ass.
I'll live stream it.
How much you want to bet me?
I'm there, man.
Pardon me?
All right, but hey, let's get to the end. There are a bunch of super chats that came in, and I'm gonna go ahead and start reading them off. Vlad, feel free to stay as long. I'm sorry.
I gotta go.
Hey, take care, bud. We'll get you back on in the future, and I appreciate you you being here tonight. JL, do you have anything you'd like to say to Vlad before you get out? And Vlad, you can say the last word to JL, and I'll let y'all guys do that unmoderated. Just keep it short.
I'm good. Peace.
All right, Vlad, anything?
Glory to God. Glory to God.
Hail
Sagan.
Hail Sagan.
Hail
Sagan.
Take care, Vlad. Vlad. Historical philosopher says the person that the piece is referring to lived around 60 BC. The other person referred to was executed in 134 AD. Neither one could be Jesus. So no, Vlad, you're wrong again. I'll let you look into that and respond to it at a future time because I know it's on the point and you got to run. But go ahead and thank you for coming on. And you have a good night, sir.
Good night, guys. God bless.
Yep.
Good night, Vlad.
Well, everybody. That was hey, I had a great time. This was fun. Like
that was great.
I'm gonna be honest with you guys. I'm really enjoying sitting here moderating stuff. And
I was off screen and I was like, I asked for this. I asked for this.
I could see you. Nobody else could, but I could see you in your struggles. But anyway, thank you everybody for coming out. We're gonna get to the super chats again. Irish, what do you have to say to JL Warren about his performance tonight?
Yes, I'd actually like to hear from both. I actually like to hear from both of you. I would. I'd like to hear from Team and from Irish.
For sure. So going into this, obviously I knew this was coming up. I was really looking forward to it. I knew what transpired would transpire because Vlad never brings any evidence. He never brings a coherent argument of any description. You know, he responds to questions with obscure, very strange kind of answers, and basically has the same face that he's got on the old frozen screen there. For you, JL, your level of knowledge is second to very few. In my opinion, you should write a book up there with Dawkins and Hitchens, and I'm not just saying that. I genuinely mean that. One thing that I would say is there was a few times where you could have given him a bit more rope, because it looked like he was going to say something that would have caught himself out. But that would be the only thing I would have to say. Give him more rope to say something stupid. And sorry, I got to fly over here. And other than that, yeah, he couldn't bring anything to the table whatsoever. I kept jumping around, and yeah. But that's about all I got to say. It was really fun, though. I thoroughly enjoyed it. And your opening was incredible, by the way.
Let me say, JL, that you were out of your league and not in a bad way. I think I want to give a shout out to Rad Vlad first because he doesn't typically debate this topic, and he wanted to debate He came to me and said, I want to debate this topic. And I said, hey, I got somebody perfect for you, JL Warren. And I think it was the perfect level of dumpster fire and respect. So you had a little bit of banter going on. I could have done without him calling you a beta was one thing, but then bringing up your wife and everything, I didn't appreciate that. I'll speak with him about that because I don't mind the banter. I don't mind somebody talking a little shit. Look at my fucking channel. It's like I do it all fucking day, so the talking a little bit of shit, I'm not even going to be upset about that. But I would kind of like to keep personal lives out of it. So him bringing that up, I just felt it was inappropriate. But then again, like I said, it's not out of the realm of what I will allow in a debate, but I just, the personal side of it, I'll reach out to Vlad and say, hey man, look, next time let's try to keep the personal stuff out. But by all means, him calling you a beta, that's banter. You know what I'm saying? I'm sure that doesn't, I'm sure you aren't going to go home, or I guess you're home now. I'm sure you're not going to turn off the camera and cry because he called you a beta. I actually agree with him a little bit.
I waited until I was off screen.
I'm just kidding. But no, I'm dead serious. Irish Demon is absolutely right. Your knowledge and ability to convey that knowledge in this type of format is second to only a few people. So what I would like to do is maybe in the future, I think I'm going to look for a more serious debater on this topic. I want to bring you in and have you speak to somebody who's probably a little bit more used to arguing these topics with people and can we can really see JL come out and bring his biggest guns. Like right now, you brought the big guns, but it kind of got lost on the fact that I don't think Vlad completely understood your arguments or your rebuttals as well as someone else might. And that's not a shot at Vlad. Like I said, Vlad doesn't normally debate these topics. So for him to stick his neck out and debate it here on my channel, I do appreciate that. And it's open for anybody out there. If you're a theist, and even if you're a supporter of this channel, and you're a theist, and you would like to, if you think you can handle JL Truth, or God, did I really just call you JL Truth?
Oh, no way.
I'm so sorry.
Give me a 1 in the chat if I need to bring back JL Truth.
You do.
1 in the chat. Two if I don't. 2 if no. We've had enough of that joke.
That was my bad. JL Warren, we do definitely need to have you back on. This would be, it was fun. I had a great time. It was fun sitting here. I love the fact that I get to interact with the chat while you guys were arguing with each other. That was amazing, by the way. Irish Demon says 11111. Yeah, no. We need to definitely bring that back. And Glober Mom 111.
I demand a recount. These results.
Monkey Cat Pat. Oh wow.
Recounts.
You're wrong.
The election was stolen.
Alex Holland said, "What about Jay Dyer? He claims to be quite the theist." Like I said, if anybody knows of somebody you would like to see debate J.L. Warren, if any of you out there have somebody that you think could put his wit to the test, reach out to me and let me know. I'll email that person and say, hey, look, I'm doing these debates. I have somebody that's an atheist that really is he seems to be a really intelligent atheist. I mean, looks and sounds can be deceiving, of course. And we all know that from this debate that's actually true in this situation. But, he was literally, I'll give you some insight. J.L. Warren was literally emailing me and messaging me nonstop throughout the debate, asking me for information on how to debunk Rad Vlad's claims. Because
why do you do this? Why do you do this to me?
No, I'm just kidding, guys. He didn't do that. But I really want to put you up to the test against somebody that will challenge you a little bit more on this topic. So by all means, stay waiting around. Sygart, I think that's how you say his name. Sygart, that's a pretty good one right there. I've seen him do a few debates on, I believe he was on Non-Sec back in the day. I don't know if I've seen him on Modern Day Debate or not, but I believe he was on Non-Sec back in the day. Now, Jay, let me ask you.
I'm more than happy to tackle anybody in the debate. The number one person that I want to debate on a controlled, moderated channel is Darth Dawkins. Unfortunately, he absolutely refuses to. Straight up.
What if I could get Kent Hovind? What if I could get Kent Hovind?
I will debate Kent Hovind. I will debate Kent Hovind. I got no problem with that.
I'll reach out to Kent Hovind and ask him if I'll be as polite as possible. He likes to come on and debate people, so I will reach out to him and say, hey man, look, we got an atheist that really wants to debate a well-versed theist, and you are like one of the top guys that would be considered in the theist debate. Currently, I don't know. As far as I'm concerned, I see him everywhere talking about atheism versus theism. So, if not the top, he would definitely be somebody that's up there. So let me reach out to Kent Hovind, JL, and if he's up for it, would you be up for it?
Absolutely, 100%.
100%.
I'll tailor my intro specifically for him. So, because his arguments are pretty much the same every single time.
Now, before we actually get to the super chats, I want you to rate yourself.
I thought my intro was solid. I'm always really happy with my intros. I think I'm a little bit disappointed in myself because I allowed his incredulity and his ignorance, and just kind of like the aggressiveness that he was espousing, the things he espoused, and he kept in his dodging. I allowed that to kind of get the best of me, and I got a little testy. I knew I was going to go in and try to hold him to a specific lane because I wasn't going to let him jump from claim to claim to claim. So I'd probably give myself, as far as my previous debates, I'd give myself a 7 out of 10. Not my best showing, but definitely not my worst. So, because my worst was on Johnny O's channel. That was pretty bad.
Well, okay, so now it's on the chat. Guys in the chat, and if you're a moderator, please only put one number. They always fucking throw so many out there. But we need JL to learn from this experience. So,
yes, all feedback is more than welcome. If you can pick up, even if you want to clip something that I said or point out something specifically, I'd love to get those emails. Just like taking down what I said. If I thought he was going to steel man me there for a second, but then I was like, no, he doesn't even know what a steel man is. So, but yeah, anything that you've got, I'm always open to whatever it is. If you want to completely deconstruct my shit, I want to hear it. So
I see YouTube Surgeon General gives you an 8. Paul Horton gives you a 9. Alyssum gives you a 666 out of 666. 8, A minus, 8.256732169095 out of 10. 8. I rate him a Vlad blob out of 10, which is like an 11. 7 from Ivy Gentry, 8 from Tanner. You guys are being honest. I appreciate that. And 1 to Banana. From 1 to Banana, I give you a solid cake from Pedro. 6.9 times 10 out of 100. From Little Wolf's Den, that'd be a 69 out of 100.
Someone got a 42 in there. I love that reference. Thank you.
So it looks as if everybody's is pretty solid with your performance tonight, and I am too. I agree with them. I would say 8 to 9 out of 10, somewhere in that. You really did a good job, but I also don't think you were challenged in your arguments. I don't think you were challenged.
You didn't have enough. You weren't given enough given enough from him to spread your wings and actually present, strong rebuttals or counter arguments. And so I think to some extent, you're just kind of left with your opening, which was really, really strong. But from there on, it's like Mike Tyson trying to fight a kitten. You're just having to throw these huge, difficult arguments at somebody who just simply doesn't understand your argument enough to have a decent rebuttal. And so it's kind of like if you put PhD Tony arguing the shape of the earth up against, a 6-year-old who thinks the moon is a marshmallow, for example. It just isn't going to work. No matter how smart you are, no matter how much you know, it's going to just get lost on them. And because they say, yeah, but it's a marshmallow, you can't really come back to that with anything reasonable. So I think your wings were clipped somewhat there, and that's not your fault. So, yeah.
Well,
I love that.
Skydiver
Grumpy old man Joe says 8 God feet out of 10.
Yeah. Oh, I need to see this picture of God's foot that he has. Yeah, somebody asked me to make a God's foot meme. I'm gonna need Vlad's God's foot picture.
Use the foot. Use the foot for Monty Python.
Use the Monty Python foot.
Yes,
okay.
Use the foot for
got
Monty
high
Python.
while he was watching Monty Python. He was just high
That's
while
exactly
he was
what
watching
popped
that.
in my head. I saw God's foot. Blap. That's all I saw was just like Vlad, like
Well, we're going to get the super chats. I know a lot of these are going to be directed at Vlad. Some will probably be directed at you, JL. So I want to say, man, thank you. I really think you did well. Skydiver Tanner rated you a 9.99 out of 100. So
oh, okay.
Out of 10, I'm sure. Out of 10, I'm sure. But
I'll answer as Vlad if you want.
Oh, and that's funny. Like when he said something about, he was like, all your science books are all fabled books. And I'm like, do you not? Well, what the fuck do you think the Bible is, man? Come on.
I wanted to ask him, is the Bible a science book? But at this point, he had dodged so many questions. And I was like, are you just not going to answer anything? And yet you want me to demonstrate evolution on my fucking desk. Like, really? It's like, come on, man.
Yeah, that shit. It had me rolling.
That's the thing. I think I'll give him this. I think he's fairly aware of the argumentation of the other side. I think he's aware that his arguments don't have any standing. That's why when I asked him flatly, does he have faith? Does he possess faith? And he would not confirm that. He would say, I know, which implies that there is evidence, that there's evidence and experience and how he got that knowledge. But he will not cite that. And so I said, you have faith. And why, as a fucking Christian, 1 Peter 3:15, when presented with the question as to why you hold the faith that you have, you must have an answer. And yet he will not, he won't address. That was the thing that got me. It was like, he's fairly aware of this argument, and that's why he won't go down this road, because that is another dead end for him. So that was right there towards the end. I was like, do you have faith? I know things. It's like,
yeah. No,
okay.
that I put Vlad on the screen real quick because somebody asked me to put him up there so they could screen cap it.
Yes.
So I was like, hell yeah. Vlad's all right. Vlad likes being trolled a little bit. He actually he really likes the blobfish, or the Vlad blob. He really likes that meme. Like he's hit me up. He's like, dude, that meme's awesome. Get me the pictures for it. And I was like, hell yeah, I'll do that for you.
Yes, man. Daniel Cooper, Cthulhu Fatagan. So that's an inside joke there too.
So let's get to the super chats. The first one comes for $2 from Fuck YouTube. It's actually Fuck YouTube, but you know what it means. Fuck YouTube. Moderators, get ready. If you're in the chat, please, I need the Fuck YouTubes in there right fucking now. PhD Tony. Oh, and I have a new video coming out tomorrow. We'll see how YouTube does it. Unfortunately, I'm going to not cuss in this video to see if I can maybe get it to stay up. Man, that sounded weird, didn't it? I'm gonna cuss to try to get it to stay up, but no, yeah, I'm gonna not cuss in this video, and we're gonna see how it plays out. I'm not gonna say it's gonna be like that moving forward, but we're gonna see how it turns out. I'm not gonna let up. I'm still gonna be harsh as fuck, but I'm not gonna actually curse. Now, I'm just not gonna say fuck in the video. So we're gonna get it all out right now, everybody. JL, Irish. Come on, let's do it together. Let's get all the fucks out, okay? Because they're going to demonetize this anyway. So ready? 1, 2, 3. Go. Fuck. Where you guys at? Fuck.
We're fucking everybody.
Fuck
YouTube.
Penis, cock, and fuck.
Fuck.
Okay. All right.
You gotta go full on fucking fuck everything.
Yeah, fuck everything. But anyway, yes, that's it. We'll see what happens with the video tomorrow. Yeah, and team not cussing. No, I'm just not gonna say fuck. I'll still be cussing, but I'm just not gonna say fuck in the video. And I'm gonna see if I can't get YouTube to. I'm actually gonna be like, hey YouTube, guess what? I'm putting this in the video. I'm gonna be like, okay YouTube, since you're so used to taking away my videos for debunking these idiot claims, these dangerous idiot claims, let me make it fucking clear to you. I support the CDC and the WHO's guidelines on social distancing and wearing masks. Everybody should wear a mask. That's what I'm going to say at the beginning of the video, and then it's going to go right to the video after that. PhD Tony for $5 Aussie dollars. JL is going to crush this because he is awesome. The only question mark is whether he'll be here on time or not. Yeah, JL, you were here on time. You were actually here before Rad Vlad. Jessica G for $2. Didn't know you could do a fatality in round 1. Yeah, they're talking about you there, JL. That was amazing, man. That was such a, like, I'm going to have to go back and watch it so that way I can learn all those big words you used. Gently's channel for €5. Someone needs to translate this into derp so we can understand it. Yeah. Exactly. All right, so then we got Jessica G for $5, you beautiful, beautiful lady. So Vlad is an example of what happens in World of Warcraft when a level 15 player accidentally runs into a level 120 player. Yeah, that's exactly what happened.
That was
Bella Charge.
Crossroads action at its best.
Right. Bella Charge for $2 New Zealand. What's up, fuckers? I'm here. You can start now. Thank you so much, Bella. Love you, brother. Richard Petrusive, I'm sorry. $5. Again with the what we see argument. Vlad, question. Was the dress black and blue or white and gold? Oh, man. I'll ask him next time.
Nice.
I'll ask him that question because that's a good one. Cygnus STP for $5. I really, really, really hope Vlad and CC Chris, for that matter, are brilliant trolls just screwing with us for attention. No, to Vlad's credit, I don't think he's a Poe. I think he honestly holds the belief that the Earth is flat, and I do think he is a genuine theist. So I can appreciate that. While I don't agree with him on either topic, I can appreciate that he's not a Poe.
That begs the. I'm sorry to interrupt. That begs the question: how does he not know what kind of Christian he is? If he's a Calvinist or an Arminianist, that's a basic thing. That's like basic.
Yeah, well, I would only say I'm a Southern Baptist. What is that? A Calvinist?
That varies. Believe that is a Calvinist religion. Yes.
So see, I don't really know. So I was fairly religious up till about a few years ago, like.
There are some Baptist churches that don't accept the doctrine of predetermination, but Calvinism is predetermination, and then Arminianism is basically faith through salvation. Is salvation through faith?
Really? Well, then I would think I was in Arminianism when I was right. Or
that's where Methodism comes from. Where Methodists come from is that it is an Arminianist faith. It's basically salvation through the faith that you have. And that's why it's so open and so lax in so many of the rules that come down in the Bible. But if he doesn't even know the differentiation between those two things, I didn't even ask him the differentiation between the six Eastern Orthodox faiths. But I just went, okay, are you a Calvinist or are you an Arminianist? And then we can go from there. So, well, I have to know what those are. Come on, dude, that's basic teaching. If you're going to walk into a religion.
But yeah, but hopefully he'll learn from it and be able to answer that question next time he's asked it. Because I think even me, I need to learn about that. You know, I'm not too afraid to admit my ignorances. And even though I wasn't like extremely faith-based when I was a Christian. I was more of a convenient Christian, I guess you would use the term. But I
your
didn't
faith
even
was
know,
like
so.
I like to say your faith was like Taco Bell packets that you leave in the drawer. and then they never go bad. So you can just pull them out whenever you want and just go like, oh, I don't have any. I've got them in the drawer, so I can just pull my faith out whenever I need it and drop it, and then you're good to go.
Speaking of things that are in the drawer that don't need to go bad before I consume them, Irish Demon, is that Marmite? It's still in my fridge. Is it going to go bad in my fridge, or is it okay there? Okay,
that
good.
That will survive the rapture.
I need to set up.
It will.
I need to set up a date where I actually eat that on stream for you, because you were so kind to send it to me, and I also have.
I would love to see that.
I have that tea behind me that you sent me, that tea bag.
Is
the
Irish
nasty?
Tea?
Yeah, is that nasty or is that pretty good?
It's
okay. I'm gonna drink that tonight.
I'm gonna
make
gorgeous.
I'm going to make me a hot
milk
tea
and sugar.
And drink it.
Oh, you can't do milk though, can you? Because
Yeah,
you shit all up the wall.
No, I would rather not drink it even with sugar, and I'm a sweet tea guy, so I'd just rather get the flavor and taste
It's
it.
lovely. It's a red tea, so the flavor is beautiful. Yeah.
Not a problem. And I'll do that. I'm going to drink that tonight because I'm craving some hot tea right now. Dib. Let's
I got a hot tea bag for you.
Yeah, fuck.
It's delicious.
Dib, it's not delicious, okay? And I haven't even tasted it yet. I already know it's not delicious. Dib.
Had to throw that in there, didn't you?
Yeah.
That's what she said.
Dib for a $3 sticker, and thank you so much, Dib. Gave me the thumbs up. Thumbs up to you too, my friend.
That's what Kevin Spacey said.
P Barnes, low blow. P Barnes for $5 Aussie. Luckily, no horses starved in the building of this straw man. Yeah, but man, I wish I would have known which straw man he was talking about, because it did seem like he kind of straw manned you a few times there.
The primary one was the attacking of evolution. Attacking evolution to prove God is a complete straw man, because the two aren't even cogently related. There's no way to prove that evolution was not the mechanism by which God diversified life. So that literally could have been the case, that God said that basically God kicked the football, and then the football of life, and then the football flying through the air, that was evolution diversifying that life, if you want to put it into an analogy. But God could have done that and basically said, okay, I've kicked the football, evolution will take care of the rest. But he he just throws it out the window. There's no way he can prove that didn't take place, which is why attacking that is a straw man, when he really should have been attacking biogenesis or abiogenesis, or panspermia or some shit like that. So
I understand that. I understand where he
it wasn't for your benefit, team. It's for the benefit of the chat.
No. But I'm saying, like, I do get what you're saying, and I wanted to step in and help him out there, but I didn't. You know. I didn't want to. I wouldn't have helped either. No, that's not my job. That is not my job. My job is just to make sure you guys don't talk over each other and have somewhat of a civil conversation.
You can tag team. You can jump in there. Moderator to the rescue.
And P Barnes says, I don't even remember either. There were too many. Justin Neal for $5, because I really was. I was going to say, look, Vlad, you can make an argument for where did life begin, and say, well, without a beginning, you must have the creator. I'll give you the argument to make that, but there's nothing to say that even if God did exist and God started life off through abiogenesis, like he was the match that got the life going, that he didn't have it set up for evolution to take place over billions of years. And there's definitely Christians out there that do believe that there's no way to show that life can start on its own without a creator, without somebody in a lab making it happen. But that once it gets happening, once it gets going, it's on its own, and it's going to take us to where we led ourselves today. With that, I'm not making an argument for theism either. I'm just saying, whatever. Justin Neal for $5.
You can make the argument axiomatically. You can, and I gave that to him in my intro. It's like you can come at it from two points. You can come at it from metaphysics, you can come at it from materialism. And in materialism, there is no evidence. There is no detectable evidence that we can demonstrate, or we can test, or we can validate, and that's just not it. We just have the universe, and what instantiates what is impossible and what is impossible. What determines what impossibility or instantiates facts is the descriptive laws, principles, and theories that we use to describe the universe around us. That's pretty much it. If you wanted to go metaphysical, that's a completely different area. That just goes axiomatic, and we can't argue axioms because they're presuppositions in and of themselves. So, but he didn't want to go there. He wanted to stay. He believes that science it proves God, which is like Mr. Batman, who thinks that the second law of thermodynamics proves God, when in actuality it disproves the omni-God, which is the one that he accepts, which I don't fucking get. But yeah, there you go.
And Rad Vlad's still in the chat. I do want to say again to you, Rad Vlad, thank you very much for coming on and having the debate tonight, man. We've had an opportunity to chat offline, helping you get your camera and mic set up. And, you know, I can say that I do appreciate you putting forth the effort to be a better presenter and a better debater. Instead of like some of these other flat earthers that just come on here and shit on the chessboard and fly off thinking they've done something significant. So thank you for that, Vlad.
Two things I need to address in the chat, and I just saw them sweep by. One, Vlad, I didn't actually say Hail Satan. I said Hail Sagan, as in Carl Sagan.
Yes.
That was what I actually said. You said you thought you heard Satan, and then you've said that I'm a Satanist. That proves that I hate God. No, I can't hate something that doesn't exist. And then someone asked me if I believed in panspermia. No, I don't accept that is the hypothesis of how life originated on this planet. It is a hypothesis, but the one that I accept is deep sea elemental bonding. That's the prevailing theory of pretty much where single-celled organisms came from. So that's the one that I side with because, yeah, exactly, hydrothermal venting and the specific pressures of the ocean at the time. That's the one that I side with because that's the one the most evidence supports. But still, it's a hypothesis. We can't verify because there's scant evidence. So. But that's the one I go with because the more evidence is there. But panspermia is a possibility. We could have come here on fucking comets. Who fucking knows?
All right, Justin Neal for $5 says, "Good job, Rad Derp. Do you have anything real to say?" No, Rad Vlad's in the chat. I guess he can say what he has to say from the chat right now. B16
He wants you to ask me if I'm a Satanist.
Yeah, are you a Satanist?
I am not a Satanist.
Oh, y'all want to hear something I wrote today? Hold on. I know y'all don't
for definition, I am a secular humanist.
Hold on, let me get to my I actually I'm giving you a sneak peek to my script for tomorrow's video, guys. So stick around 1 second. All right. Let me see. I gotta find it.
Historical philosopher. I am entertained, but I need more entertainment. Dance, monkeys, dance.
Why do I feel like Team is about to spit some bars?
Oh no! Okay, so in the video I'm covering, the guy goes, "I almost went down there and put my foot in his teeth, in the devil's teeth." And I was like, yeah, just like Christians, they always try to kick the protagonist of the Bible in the mouth. The devil did nothing wrong. The devil did nothing wrong. Change my mind in the comment section below. That's coming out in my video.
You're not wrong on that one. You aren't. The devil actually did no wrong. The devil presented arguments against, and he actually spoke the truth.
Yeah, when you ask a Christian, why is the devil so bad? What did he do so wrong? And their answer is, oh my God, he told man and woman that he gave them the knowledge of good and evil. And you're like, wait, that's a bad thing? Like, the actual knowledge of good and evil precludes me from finding that evil in nature.
Here's the fucked up thing. Adam and Eve created in the garden. They are completely innocent. They are without knowledge of sin. They are without knowledge of good or evil. And so God tells them, don't eat from the specific tree. However, in the state that he created them, in the state of absolute innocence, as the Bible, as basically as the mythology states, they would have no concept of what a sin is. And a sin, by definition, is an action against God. So disobeying him would not have the same effect as just doing something wrong, because they had no concept of wrong or right or wrong. Then the snake comes along, which God allowed to happen, tells them, you weren't given all the information. Here's some more information. They make a decision, not aware that it's a sin because of the state of absolute innocence, and then they violate that. God says it's a sin and then punishes us for all eternity. Fuck your mythology.
Yeah. And he did mention this earlier. Rad Vlad said JL is Kerry King from Slayer in disguise, which I thought that was actually pretty hilarious, if you ask me.
And to answer his question, no, Vlad, listen, no, I am not a Satanist. I have never been a Satanist. However, the 7 tenets of Satanism are far more moral than your 10 commandments. But no, I am a secular humanist. Look it up.
All right. Let's see. B16 Street Burner for Vlad. If God exists, why did he inspire Leviticus 11 that says rabbits chew the cud? And it's been scientifically proven that they don't.
Because the observation was made that rabbits do the thing with their mouths, and it looks very similar to the motions that other animals that do chew cud make with their mouths, so therefore rabbits chew cud. Just like fish come out of the water, giant fish. I see a giant fish. I see a little fish. There's obviously fish in the water, so that is giant fish. No, it's a fucking whale.
It's fish will always breed a fish. You'll never have two fish breed and breed a dog.
Dog will not give birth to a non-dog.
Yeah, dogs always breed to have dogs. They never breed and have non-dogs.
I can't even find a way to
dog turn into a rabbit. It does not happen.
God damn it! We'll just have you debate for Kent Hovind. Fuck, you sound just like
we will. Yet we assert that we actually came from natural elements that actually occur in this universe and through natural formations, natural processes. But he asserts that we came from dust, which came from a rock. You came from a rock. This is what you
believe
think.
You came from a rock.
No. You believe
you came from a rock in water.
Water.
With water.
And became a man.
Okay.
Did you ever see a rock turn into a man?
Yeah. I sprung out of the ooze like Athena from fucking Zeus's head.
Nice.
All right. So B16 Street Burner again with $10. Thank you so much. Why would God advocate and sanction slavery? Exodus 21. Master may beat their slaves. Deuteronomy 15, Leviticus 25, and in the New Testament, Jesus says, "Slaves, be good to your masters, even the cruel ones." Oh man,
I didn't want to get into the Bible because I got the with limited knowledge that he has. When I dropped, all I had to do was drop 1 Peter 3:15, and devout Christians, they know specific things. Hebrews 11:1. Faith is evident. Faith is the things unseen. Faith is evidence of things unseen. And 1 Peter 3:15. These are things they know by heart. Just as much as they know Psalm 24. They know these things because these are like the big things that build their foundational worldview or their worldview of a triune God. And they like when to answer questions, when not to answer questions, shit like that. Knowing Leviticus and Deuteronomy and the evil fucking shit that is in those chapters. I mean, if he's read it, he would know these things. But I realized he didn't know it, so I was like, go in the Bible. That's just.
I believe it's Numbers too, right? Numbers. The book of Numbers has
Numbers, Acts,
huge
Judges,
amounts of death.
Deuteronomy, Leviticus, Isaiah. You name it. It's fucking ridiculous.
Well, Professor Vilbel says well, if two morons breed, they'll never breed anything other than a moron. You can't get two morons to breed and have a genius.
That's spot on.
Dog. Listen, I'm never inviting you two back on if you don't laugh at my fucking jokes. Irish fuckface. Irish demon for $2.99 Aussie. Well done, JL. Big rant video coming today. # birds aren't rocket powered, mate. Yes, they are. According to Birds Aren't Real.
Hail PhD Tony.
Yeah.
The most quotable beardsman.
Richard Petrusive for $2. If God is an engineer, he failed his first class. Yeah, exactly.
The position of the esophagus and the trachea is an abject fucking failure. Okay, that just goes to show that evolution, it works, but sometimes doesn't work as well as it should.
The fact that the A-hole and the T-hole are right next to each other is also pretty bad. There's a few anomalies in the human body. It depends on what you're into, but there's a few evolutionary issues there. Like one of our veins, one of our arteries goes down under a bone that causes us a lot of issues. There's a load of problems with our bodies. Like me having to carry around this massive pair of nuts, for example.
The fact that we are the only species that literally carries the heaviest part of our body on top of the weakest part of our body.
I can solve that. I can solve that big nuts problem.
These are advents of evolution. This is where it went, but it sucks.
with a fucking wrench and a big fucking screw and a big bolt. Crafty Keela for $5. Bravo, JL. Fantastic debate. Gotta sleep, but gotta show some love. Thank you, Crafty. I don't know if you're still in the chat or not, but you're a wonderful, amazing
person. She messaged me on
Thank
Discord too. She's so sweet.
Base here for $4.99. He gave me a sticker that was, I believe that's a hippopotamus running fast. I think he's saying that you're running from the debate. Is that what he meant? No, I'm just kidding.
I hope not.
Did he call me a hippopotamus? What?
And he called you No, it wasn't. It was a super sticker. He wasn't addressing anybody. I'm just making huge assumptions here. Kuyasa for 10,000 Korean dollars. I think they're yen. Mr. Vlad, I think it's better if you stick to explaining your personal experience and how convincing it was and how it motivates you to do good rather than argue poor science and argue proof. That's a good point, Kuyasa. That's a really good point. And Vlad, if you're still out in the chat, that's really a point to help you there. He's giving you an avenue to do better in your next debate. Syed Ahmad for $4.99. Vlad, this was a pathetic showing. Right after I compliment him, Vlad, this was a pathetic showing. I've heard real parrots who offer more than you did tonight, and your face looks like it's melting. It is. He lives in California. It's hot. Fred Durst for $5 New Zealand dollars. This is a Kiwi bucks. Poor Vlad, just another typical Christian, has done no research but claims to have all the answers. Stick to Flat Earth, Vlad. It makes you more unique. Monkey Cat Pat, who I haven't seen in forever. Great to see you, Monkey Cat. For $5, there's a difference between loving your wife and loving your sandwich. Rad Vlad 2020. I must have missed that. Take care, Chris. Take care, Chris. All right.
This is. But I don't know. I've met some sandwiches. Holy fuck!
I had a BLT. Really, I had a veggie delight with bacon from Subway the other day.
You know, I tell you, they often involve bacon. They really do.
Fuck, man. I might run up to the store and get me some bacon right now just to eat for dinner. Eat just a slab of
beautiful
bacon.
Irish style. I got beautiful Irish style wet cured streaky bacon this morning, and it was as good as it sounds.
Yeah, I tell you, I was in Philadelphia. I was in Philadelphia once, and I had the hotel we were staying at was very nice. And the first thing we ate when we got there was this is a 4-star kitchen that they had in this place, a Philly cheesesteak. And I'm telling you, when it's not just the cheap ingredients off the street, when you get them legit made, holy fuck, that is a sandwich. Damn it, that was so. I still remember to this day, and this was years ago, and I'm like, I want that sandwich again. Philly cheesesteak, man. Philly cheesesteak and gravy fries.
All right. This is from Syed Ahmad for $4.99. JL, did you have to punch your head to speak and think like Vlad? This had to be painful, JL. Or this had to be painful. JL was amazing, insightful, despite Vlad's trolling. Again, I don't think Vlad's trolling, but he was trolling a bit during the debate. But I do agree with Syed 100%. JL, you were very amazing tonight, and what you presented was extremely insightful. And I think maybe just showing that clip off, showing your intro off to a few of these theists may incite them to want to respond to you and come on here and have that discussion. So let's see if we can make that happen. I want to get Kent Hovind on here to debate you. Let's see. Resin Fry 11 for $2, and I didn't get a message with that. Resin Fry, thank you so much for your donation. I truly appreciate it. Josiah Hansen for $2. Team, check Gmail for a funny new Flat Earth cartoon shirt. I will, because I always like laughing at the Flat Earth. John Rapp for $2 Aussie dollars. Everybody, give it to him. Just give it to him. This is for you, John Rapp. This is for you. John Rapp. We love you, brother. John Rapp for $2 Aussie dollars for a cracker for Vlad. Good parrot. I agree. Brainy Beaver for $2 nice. Canadian dollars. Vanilla flavored starfish, which for those of you that don't know what he means, because it's he says it's a filter. I think he means vanilla flavored butthole.
Yep.
Jessica G for $2. JL, go ahead and teabag Vlad's lifeless body. Oh God, Jessica G is absolutely fucking relentless out there. I love it. I love it. Monkey Cat Pat Pat says, Team Skeptic, love you, man. Love you too, man. That's
I
awesome.
will say this though, and now that I think I can articulate it better, the thing that where I began to lose, because I came in, I wanted to be cool. That's always my focus, is to be as cool as possible. I think where I began to lose it, where I went over and it just kind of downhill for me, was when he misrepresented me. Is that it's a pet peeve of mine, and it always gets under my skin when I make a point and then the person immediately fires back with a misrepresentation of what I'm saying, and it absolutely aggravates because they know they're doing it, and well, it's either one of two things: they're either doing it deliberately, or they weren't listening beforehand, and that really pisses me off. Because if you're going to engage with somebody, actively listen to what they're saying so you can respond, or just learn how to fucking argue. And when he started misrepresenting misrepresenting what I said in order to further his own agenda along, when he twisted it to meet his own narrative, that really aggravated. That's where I got aggravated. I got to stop doing that. That's kind of a failing on my part.
No. Let me tell you, it's the hardest thing in the world, because I'm under the same. I deal with it all the time too. When I was debating flat earthers, their literal position is a straw man. Half of their arguments are straw men against the globe Earth. Like, I can't think of one just right off the top of my head, because I really need to get through the super chats. But just the straw man of gravity, or gravity's not a force, or that Einstein and gravity, or gravity doesn't exist because of Einstein. That's kind of a straw man to the position, because it's not saying that. What we're saying is that Newton's laws of gravitation are very good classically. In fact, they describe orbits very well, and we can use them to make predictions. So they're not wrong. They're just not complete. And it's a straw man for them to say, well, Newton debunked, or Einstein debunked Newton. No, that's not what happened. Einstein more fully explained Newton. And I want to give a shout out to my good friend out there, Professor Phil Bell. Man, I've heard just so many kind things from you to me, from, of course, through PhD Tony. And I expressed something to PhD Tony that I would only feel good expressing to you directly. When watching you on PhD Tony's channel the other day, I really love your presentation. I love your enthusiasm, and you really drive me to be a smarter person and to get out and teach myself more. So I wanted to leave that day and go off and do some shopping, and that my shopping experience was pushed back, because I was so involved with what you were talking about. I think you're a great educator, and you're a value to our community. Alyssum, oh yeah, this was directed to Rad Vlad, and I think he saw this for $5 Aussie. $5 for a functional flat earth based map. If you cannot provide me one, then you're a waste of time. You can't even show me what your fantasy world looks like. And, like I said, Vlad said he wanted a piece of you. So we'll see if we can't make that happen in the future. I don't know if you're interested in doing it or not. I think you messaged me on Discord, so I'll read those messages tonight and get back to you. He also adds for $2 Aussie. I already debated you, Vlad. You lost. All right, and then Peter Miss Prime for $5 Aussie. Rad, if everything is created, then how can anything be natural? Good point. Alyssum for $5 Aussie. The amount of times Vlad accused me of being gay, he is most definitely in the closet. I don't want to make any assumptions about him or anything like that, but he did kind of, he said he hesitated when thinking about whether he would date you or not, right? I mean, he did have a hesitation. He
kind of just went like,
Yeah.
It's one of those moments. Like, maybe I do. But anyway.
Let's see. Joshua Gennari II for $5. This was a good debate, and bro, I'm a Christian, and he literally proved nothing to me. Joshua Gennari II. That sounds very familiar, like JM Truth.
That does sound like JM.
But I don't think that's him out there. JM, if that is you, let me know. If not, don't worry about it. He would be somebody I wouldn't mind having on for a theist debate. He holds very strong beliefs. I think it would be a good conversation, and I think he would probably offer as much or maybe a little bit more insight than Vlad has. I think he's just done a little bit more studying into the mythology of religion. So or mythology of Christianity and the Christian-based God. I know I heard him say something about he doesn't believe in the Christian God. I think he believes in the Almighty, the All High Yahweh, or whatever that may be. I don't know, but maybe I can get him
the Omni Hebrew Thunder God.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah,
that's pretty much what it is. Yeah.
But if JM Truth is out there and you do want to have a conversation with JL Warren, you let me know. We'll set that up. Robert Williams for $1.99. Bob Will. What does Bob Will mean again? Oh wait, that's him. That's a shot at Brainy Beaver, by the way. If Vlad will debate any topic, is he a masturbator? Vlad. Vlad, if you're in the chat still, somebody tag Vlad. Let's see if he's still in the chat. If you will debate any topic, are you a masturbator? I think you are.
Irish Skydiver Tanner would say that stated that I am a sexy bear and you are definitely a cub.
Historical philosopher says, well, JM is a little smarter than Vlad, but that's not really saying much.
I'll actually agree with that statement. I will agree with that.
Oh, he says
he can form a coherent thought.
I have to read this super chat because it just came in. Nope, I'm his son. Oh, dang! Go give your dad's credit card back to him, Joshua Gennari II.
Trouble, man. Come on.
Oh, this is beautiful. I love this chat. We have the best goddamn chat on the internet. Alyssum for $5 Aussie. Can I debate JL on the pros and cons of pineapple pizza? What position do you hold on that?
There is no cons.
I am.
There are no pros.
There is no con.
There are no pros.
No. I'm sorry, team. I can demonstrate. One, the pineapple you put on that pizza was too thick. You didn't slice it right. Two, you left too much. You left too much moisture in those. You left too much moisture in those pineapple slices, which meant in those spears, which meant that you actually soaked into your dough, which ruined its consistency. Three, you put too big of pieces on there. You need to put smaller pieces and put them more evenly distributed. You had big ones that were just like chunk, and that doesn't play well with the type of marinara you're using. I'm assuming you use can-based marinara sauce or you use tomato paste. But depending upon which one,
I use ragu pizza sauce.
Okay, that's good. It comes out of glass. Yeah, that's not bad. But the problem is your pineapple was not prepared. Your pineapple was not prepared correctly. That's the issue.
I'm telling you, guys, listen, I cannot explain this any more correctly than to say that my pineapple pizza experiment, it tasted like a pineapple pizza donut. Like the pineapple got like it was like when I bit into it, it was like the inside cream was pineapple
That's
flavored.
The problem. There was in the pineapple. Did you use canned pineapple to do that?
Yeah.
Okay, there's sugar put into that can. There's sugar to put into that can. Okay, that's where the sugar. Then there's sugar in the ragu.
Sugar in your can.
There's sugar in the ragu paste, in the ragu sauce, and there's sugar in the pineapple. That's a problem. You need to cut a raw pineapple, and then you need to drain it. Then you need to make sure that all of the pineapple juice is out of it, because that pineapple juice will ruin the balance between the tomato paste and the crust.
Okay,
so I just don't know what Professor Phil Bell said.
What did he say? Hold on, what did he say? And oh wait, go ahead. I'll let you read that. But before you read that, I do want to say that there was somebody else that said something that really said truer than I could. I couldn't even say it as true as they did. That was Dan Hetfield said, "Team Skeptic, I get the impression that if you were gay, you wouldn't hide it. You'd fucking own it." And I do, man. I am straight. I would fucking own it. No, I would. I own everything, guys. So if I was gay, I don't see I don't see the big deal with people's sexual preferences. You know, I just don't see the big deal about it. Love is love. If a man loves a man or a woman loves a woman, there's nothing fucking wrong with it. There's nothing wrong with a transitioned man to woman loving another woman. I don't even see a problem with that. And if I was in that position, hell yeah, I'd fucking own it. I don't give a shit about that. That shit's fucking. Yeah. That's just that's just being normal. I think here's what I think, right? And I understand why because of the way society is, but I think it's normal for people to express who they love the way they love. That's what's normal to me. So if I was gay, you'd absolutely see me owning that shit right here, and it would be no problem at all for me. I will never, under any circumstance, allow anybody to come in with that same bullshit ass homophobic, transphobic rhetoric that fucking Austin Whitsitt said, because he doesn't get shit. But if he ever fucking wants to come in here and get his intellectual shit pushed in, that's somebody I'd make an exception for. I'd go back and debate Flat Earth for that piece of shit, just so I could put him in his fucking place, and you guys would. I'd just tell you to bring fire extinguishers. Just bring some goddamn fire extinguishers.
Bumfuck him.
I would too. God damn it. All right, Alyssum. Oh, we just read that one. That was the pineapple on pizza. Jessica G for $2. Irish still finishes number 4 in hotness on the stream. Yeah, 1 me, 2 me, 3 me, 4 A and B me. Is Irish Demon and me, then JL, and then Vlad.
Wow,
Alex Holland.
Wow, I rank above Vlad.
You do.
At least that's something.
You literally are better looking than a blobfish, is what he's trying to say.
I appreciate that.
Hardly.
Just
9A and 9C. That's what you guys are right there. Me and Irish do the rest.
That'll be me.
Alex Holland for $5 Canadian. Damn, Vlad is killing this mannequin challenge. Yes, he is. He's knocking it out the park, guys. Look at that. He's holding the mannequin challenge longer than anyone in the history of anything. Good job, Vlad. Much respect, my friend. Carrie Oliver. Oh, Carrie Oliver, my friend, my big time friend. Have not seen you in the chat in so long. I know life has probably been keeping you doing more important things than watching idiots have a good time. But it's so good to see you, man. I truly missed your presence, not just in the chat, but also in my life. You know, I consider all of you people a part of my life, and I miss whenever I don't see somebody around for a long time. I start to miss them. Carrie, you're somebody I miss. Professor, well, I don't know what his name is today, but Professor Pineapple, he's in the chat. Let me see. Professor Doug Thompson. Professor Doug Thompson, you're another person that I honestly, truly miss, and I'm glad to see you around every time, even if it's just to show up and harass me for a little bit. I love it, and I'm so glad you're here tonight. P. Barnes for $5 Aussie dollars. Does Vlad think God's foot flattened the earth? I have no idea. I would not be surprised. Alyssum for $2 Aussie dollars. Marmite. Warning, lots of butter, very little Marmite. And then, Jane Doe also asked a question, Irish. What's the difference between Marmite and Vegemite?
Basically, it's just a difference in how it seasons your diarrhea after you eat it. That's literally the only difference.
How do you know that your diarrhea is seasoned differently? That bothers me, Irish. That means you're not picking through your... No, listen. Yeah, I was going to say that means you're not picking through your diarrhea with your hand like normal people. You're using your tongue. That's abnormal. Stop doing that.
If you subscribe to my OnlyFans, you will know exactly how I know that. That's all I'm saying.
Fuck off. Do not subscribe to that OnlyFans, guys.
That's the premium fucking content. He keeps trying to foist it on the other beardsmen, but we just keep telling him no.
No.
There are people in Germany who want to see that shit, but we don't.
Commander Darklight said, Team Skeptic, I'm straight, but if I met the right guy, ... And then he follows that with, when you come into Aussie land, Australia. Nice. Hey man, for you, next week I'll be there. I'll be there with a sleeping bag and a jar of Vaseline. Commander Darklight for $22.99 Aussie. Speaking of the protagonist devil in the chat, I was working on a job with no signal and missed the fun. Oh, you did. You missed it. This was a fun experience. I had a really, really great time. I'm so lucky that, that I've found a good thing I found a good format that works for me, that, I can still host debates. I don't want to not be a part of debates. If you guys want to know the truth, I miss being a part of them, but Flat Earth just was like, it was becoming so hateful, and it was becoming so like redundant, and it just was not. Flat Earth doesn't push me mentally. If it doesn't push, that's why I got kind of frustrated. It wasn't just YouTube stuff. It was like, God, man, these topics I'm covering, they're just not pushing me mentally. They're not pushing me to be to learn more. And therefore, I'm just wasting time at this point. So that's why I said I took a little break. I reformatted my channel a bit. I've made some decisions, as you guys have noticed. And I think this works for me. I think I feel a lot happier. I think it's great for my mental health, and I think it's perfect for my channel. So thank all of you guys out there that have been there to support me since, making the moves that I've made. But, and Commander Darklight, a special thank you to you, because you're there in my gaming stream. You're in here. You've spoke with me on the side about a few topics, and I just, I value our relationship and our interactions with one another. So thank you very, very much for that. Joshua Janari II, who still hasn't learned to put away his dad's credit card. Nope. Oh, I read this one, but I'm going to read it again. Nope. It's his son. And then Joshua Janari II for our final super chat of the night for $5. Live in Washington State, and sadly, we are literally on the opposite side of the spectrum on just about everything. LOL. Well, thank you so much, guys. I had a great time. Thank you, Joshua Janari II. Tell your dad I'm going to reach out to him, and we'll try to get him on for either a flat Earth debate or a theist versus atheism debate. Irish, what topics would you want to debate? Because we got to get you on here.
I think for me, free speech is crucial at the moment, and it is something that I would like to debate. That's something I'm passionate about. The other thing is I want to talk about something that I've got a video coming up today.
Good night, Tina.
It's kind of bouncing off my last video, which is talking about some of the rhetoric coming from both sides of the political divide and the demonization of the opposition. Some language in particular that has just been absolutely disgusting that I've seen come out from I've just got to say it from a lot of people on the left, and it's been getting worse and worse, the dehumanization of people on the right and calling for disgusting acts to be done to them. And it's something I'm going to call out specifically in my next video, a specific person and something that they've said. So I'm stepping up my game. I am moving somewhat away from flat Earth stuff because I feel like it can stifle a channel quite a bit, and it's not something that I'm as passionate about as I was. So yeah, I'd love to debate that. I would also like to debate on whether or not the political divide in the US is getting worse, or if it's, if there's good and bad on both sides or things like that. Just more current affairs stuff. I could never debate, religion in the same way that JL can. I gotta say, I don't know if the chat will agree with me. I'd love to hear what the chat has to say. I would love to see JL make a series of videos debunking religion, debunking God in depth. I've read God Is Not Great. I've read The Blind Watchmaker, all of those books. And I think JL has this ability to put it into bite-sized portions. And I would love to see that. I think that would be blockbuster stuff. So yeah, that's...
I want to say, Professor Phil Bell says, see if you can join PhD Tony and I this week. Yeah, have Tony harass me about that. I give him full permission, because I'd love to come on there and speak with you intellectual giants. Y'all push me and drive me to be a better and smarter person. Now, here's the thing. I want to know from you guys in the chat, and it's so much easier for me to read comments, especially if you're passionate about a subject. Leave it in the comment section of this video. Tell me what you would like to debate or what you would like to see debated on my channel. And, even if you fundamentally disagree with Irish Demon, because I do hold a lot of his beliefs. Like, believe it or not, me and him chat all the time about some things that we find ridiculous. And I consider myself a hard centrist, slightly left, but a hard centrist. And so... I would prefer to moderate a debate like that, but I'm sure there's somebody out there that's fundamentally against some of the things you just said, and I would love to host that for you guys. It's an important topic. Yep. Freedom of speech and freedom of ideas are very, very important, in my opinion. I've always said this. I am a First Amendment fundamentalist. I believe strongly in the First Amendment. Like, you cannot, I understand some people can be, well, what about this? I'm not saying, scream fire in a theater. That's okay. No, I'm saying, like, I just think bad ideas should not be censored. They should be crushed. And you can't crush something by censoring it. YouTube is showing that right now. They're censoring people, and what's happening? Those people are going to Facebook. Those people are going to Parler. Those people are going to other venues where they don't get any opposition whatsoever. It's an echo chamber over there, and those bad ideas are festering. And when those bad ideas fester, especially like the one I'm covering tomorrow, I'm covering that stupid-ass preacher or pastor. I call him an ass turd, actually, the whole time. That ass turd that is in Florida, I think, Greg Locke. I'm covering him because bad ideas like that should not be censored. They should be addressed and crushed. Because when somebody watches that video and then they see my video next, and they're like, "Yeah, that guy's a moron. That guy, that preacher is an absolute fucking moron."
I think I called Aiden Rusfeld a shit thistle.
So. Yeah, so, and then let's see, there was one other, he said, before we go, comes from, I believe, historical philosopher. Before you go, please tell JL that Yahweh was most likely a volcano god imported from either the Turks or the Persians. Care to respond?
There is some possibility there. The problem with that time period is there was a lot of oral tradition. Giggity. And oral stories, and we've tried to make the example I've tried to make the example to theists before, that it's like a game of telephone that lasts 100 years until we can finally start writing shit down. And because cuneiform was the earliest form of writing, cuneiform is extremely subjective to its interpretation because nobody was there, so we have to pretty much break it down to what we think it might be. People are good at it, but it's still not 100%. So we get to a certain point where we have the oral tradition where the story has changed, people have adapted to, which is why you get like the flood myth out of Gilgamesh in the Bible, because they can alter that to fit their narrative, and so that's why weird shit like that happens. And then of course you take that along. The problem is it was oral stories, and then they were written down many years later. But there is some credence to what he's saying, that it could have the name Yahweh could have come from that, and that the destruction or whatever like damage that was caused by this volcano was seen as God's wrath, which could have been the interpretation of the unforgiving God, which pretty much spans the entire Old Testament. That God was unforgiving and uncaring and demanded this and demanded that, was capricious, because a volcano could rumble and not erupt, or it could rumble and erupt, or it could do nothing and suddenly explode. So there's some leverage there.
Alien X Gaming shared this, and I want to share it. Oh my god! Oh, Alien X, man, you're amazing. Thank you so much for being the person you are. And let's see, there were some other things I wanted to see, and then we'll get out of here. Do you guys have anything you wanna add?
Yeah, actually, just quickly, Joshua Gennari, can I just cover this just briefly? Joshua Gennari II said about Parler. Now, I am on Parler, but I can honestly say I've looked at it probably twice since I went on there. He or she, I'm not sure, says Parler is a fan club for alt-right fascists. I feel like from what I've heard, it's more that it's for essentially disenfranchised people who feel like their voices are being squashed, and I think it goes to the point of what Team was saying, that rather than censoring people and driving them underground into an echo chamber, it's better to allow them to have their voice and challenge it openly, so people can see why they're wrong, rather than shouting them down. And if what you're saying about Parler is correct, then that is a result of that issue. And that is exactly what I'm talking about. So, yeah, I think that's really important. And thank you for pointing that out. I will check out Parler a bit more and see if I agree with you on that one. And, yeah, I'd love to have a chat with you about it in the future.
Oh, man, this is... I want to say this is a great super chat. We did have one super chat come in. I'll turn it over to you, JL, after this, because I think this is going to be the last one for the night. It says, sorry, team, I missed the show. What you did with your channel it works, and your community can see your hard work. I do put in a lot of hard work, guys, and it's super chats like that and messages in the chat like that of support that really keep me driving, man. I really, really appreciate that, and you know, I do it for me, but I do it for you guys too. I mean, it's not just me. If there was no you, it would be hard for there to be this me right now. It wouldn't have changed who I was, but it would definitely change what I was able to do. So thank you everybody that's out there and supporting me. I can't tell you enough that some of the Discord messages that I've had showing support, some of the emails. There's one individual in particular that's been emailing me, and we've been corresponding to each other a little bit. And I just want to, he knows who he is. I'm not going to call him out by name. He knows who he is, and I want to say thank you. Your recent correspondence with me has really helped me a lot. So help me to, you know, not just to have a little bit more confidence in the decision I made to go and do my own thing and take my channel a different direction, but, you know, just the emotional support that's there. It means a lot, you know, because this was scary. You know, I've lost a lot of subscribers. I'm not even going to kid with you guys. And I imagined I would, you know, when I said I was going to be stepping away from the flat earth. I have so many people out there that really are a part of, that watch this channel because they're fans of debunkers of the flat earth. And I was really kind of like, it put me in a position to be kind of weary about my decision. You know, you always second guess yourself, especially when you make such a huge decision. And this is a huge decision for my channel. So the support I'm getting from you guys is amazing. Thank you so much, and I can't tell you enough how much it truly means to me. JL, I'm going to give you the last word, and then we're going to shut this down. I'll let you talk, and then I'll say my goodbyes, and I'll fail my outro.
So thank you, everybody, for coming out. I'm glad that you enjoyed it. To any theists that are out there, I hope I presented some interesting arguments. I'd love to hear your feedback on it. You can drop them in the comments. I typically respond to everything that I see that has my name attached. So I'd love to hear what you guys think, especially if MC Toon reads this specifically. I'd love to hear what your thoughts on it as well. If you like seeing me do this, if you, like Ira said, if you know the idea of me doing this and making a series out of this, if you like to see me do this more often, the way to support me, you can support my channel by liking, subscribing, and sharing there. But the big thing is my show, Week in Horror. Week in Horror is the biggest thing that we have. It's growing right now. The success of that channel is what allows me to build my own personal channel. So only if you like horror movies, if you like doing deep dives on film and stuff, if you like interviews with people in the industry, if you like winning free shit, because we give free shit away all the time, check out Week in Horror. It's my other channel. It's just Week in Horror, 3 words. You can check us out there. You can subscribe to us there. Check out some of those videos. Check us out wherever you like podcasts. We're in podcast form as well. We're about to take the show live. We'll be doing live streams of the podcast every Wednesday. So if you hit us up there, if you can help us get to that 1,000 mark, help us get that channel monetized, that the success of that will enable me to be more successful here, because that is what keeps me in front of this computer. And then this is just kind of bonus, is me getting to go out there and just debunk woo believers. So consider it if you like it. If you don't, then don't worry about it. Just your support here has been fantastic.
Great, so I won't worry about it. I'm just kidding. Go ahead.
Thanks. Yeah. Thank you, Irish, for showing up. I did not expect that. That was an unexpected surprise. Team, thank you again. This has been amazing. I really do appreciate you inviting me on. Something else to consider is that Johnny O is really interested in dipping his toe into the debate circle and would like to swing his first debate. Maybe you could moderate for him, because he has his own channel. So typically he moderates there. So maybe you could give him that opportunity. I know he would really love that. So I myself, I do have to bug out because I have a crew. I have a cast waiting for me. We got to do the breakdown of our new episode, which is going to be live this Wednesday. And I'm already like 2 hours late to that, as the norm. So thank you guys again so much. Appreciate it. Love you guys. Be safe. Be excellent to each other. And I will see you all next time.
Take care. Take care, brother. Take care. Irish, you have anything you want to add before we get out of here?
Just thanks for bringing me on. It was good fun, and really enjoyed it. And I'm looking forward to having a chat. Northen Thompson says that he'd be interested in having a conversation with me on the channel about about what we were just talking about. So that would be awesome. That would be a great interlocutor, a great person to chat to, and somebody who has the silkiest, smoothest voice I've ever heard, by the way. So yeah, that'd be awesome. I'd love that.
All right. And as far as I go, guys, thank you so much. Again, can't express to you guys the amount of thanks I have and appreciation to each and every one of you. It's not about the super chats either. It's about, I just love seeing you in the chat. Me being able to interact with you just drives me. I wish you guys knew how much it drives me. Like, I was sitting there in the chat just responding to people like, hell yeah, let's just keep it going. Let's talk this shit. So to have you guys here, it's just a blessing in disguise. And I'm glad. I'm happy. I'm more happy than I've been in probably a year, for the, on YouTube, of course. I've had things in life that are irreplaceable that I could never say that any experience on YouTube was better than that. So, but on YouTube, this is the best time, the best feeling I've had in so long. And it's really because of you guys. So thank you very much. Y'all have a good night. Look, I got the whole 3 blue or red pin, black pin thing going on. I'm like, okay, I got a new mic, something that I could pick up and carry around and talk, and it doesn't always have to be sitting like this in front of my face and all that. So thank you guys. Have a great night. Oh, set up the chair so I don't fail. Because you know, you will. You're here for the fail. I know. I'm Team Skeptic, and I'm Oh no, I fucked it up. I didn't even have the screen up.
Yep, you did.
You're laughing in the chat. Fuck off.